But welcome to Grognard and Friends. And speaking of friends, we'd like to acknowledge all of you who have recently started watching us throughout the UK, France, Canada, and especially those of you in Brazil who seem to have been watching us regularly for months in numbers. Thanks so much for being our friends. And speaking of friends, let's check out this week's episode of Grognard and Friends. And we are back, at least most of us are. Dan, can you say something intelligent?
Higher.
Oh, hello.
Great. Also try saying something.
Hello?
There you are.
Holy shit.
You can hear me? Oh! I don't know what happened.
Okay. When last we left the friends, they had finally made it back to the city of Seven Rivers to find that things had changed just a little. The city's population had either shrunk or people were in hiding, which would have made sense as the Equus noro sickness, known by most as the mudlarks, had actually begun to spread to people. And as a result, the authorities had shut down the eastern districts and invoked a number of rules to preserve the safety of the populace, supposedly. And while taking all this in, the group met a new friend, a little gnome woman with a big personality named Calandra, who asked them to help her, and they also reconnected with Vivalda, a friend that had pursued a different quest while the group went to Forest Grove. While investigating some things in order to help Calandra, the group came into some secret and valuable underground information regarding an ancient artifact that had recently been stolen. As it seems that the information was not so secret, and that a number of members of Seven Rivers Underground Networks also knew about it, including Murph, a friend of their friend and landlord Butterbeer. Upon learning that the friends also knew of the artifact, Murph made the decision, at the urging of Butterbeer, to enter into a pact with the friends to steal back the artifact and split the money from it. But first, Murph suggested that the friends might do well to bring in some others who were familiar with this sort of work, and in this case, that would be the Brothers Green. 3 goblins of conflicting reputations and personalities. The group headed to the Crowbar, a back alley drinking hole and gambling room. There, the friends found the brothers, did a little gambling, ate a little chowder, and found themselves making outrageous promises to a large group of rather cantankerous dwarves and someone named Gordon that no one knew who he was. This left the party scattered to the 4 winds. Vivalda and the brothers escaped via the rooftops. Gaius and Calandra had made an early exit and were just about at the Recherche, known by most as the Arcane University. Reed had made a run for it on his own, trying to find his friends, but ended up coming back just in time to help Nikita escape, but putting them both dangerously close to the angry dwarves, who were now just about a half a block away. Reed, you and Nikita have kind of gone down the alley, and you are a little bit past. You're on that street that the Ratskeller is on.
We're by ourselves kind of right now?
Just the 2 of you, though you hear behind you down the alley, you hear the door slamming repeatedly open, and you hear the crushing of wood and the bending of metal, and what sounds like some form of small destruction. You're not sure what's causing that, but that's currently what you're hearing.
Behind us or in front of us?
Behind us, like down the alley that you came, where the bar was.
Oh.
Where the crowbar was.
Does Nikita recognize the sound of dwarven destruction?
As a matter of fact, it does sound like dwarven destruction. You remember it from your teenage years back in the mountains when you and your cronies
Rabble.
used to break apart the mining picks and shovels of adolescent dwarves who kind of ended up screwing you over in one way or another.
Yeah. So Reed, we need to get the fuck out of here and head for the stone's throw.
Okay. I might have taken some stuff. I'll show you later.
Yeah. Let's. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Great. Of course you fucking did. Let's go.
Reed or Nikita, give me a check. Just roll me a 20 just to see how you're. Are you running or strolling or what?
I think we should be
Running.
hustling. Yeah.
You're hustling.
Yep.
Okay.
We're hustling.
Then roll me a 20-sider, please.
Mm-hmm. A nat 20.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
There are 20 dwarves after you. What?
So many ideas. Stop it.
Okay, we'll come back to you later. Gaius and Calandra, what are you doing? You've just made it into the square outside of the university.
Well,
Do you know where they?
that
do you
was
know where they
easy
went?
enough.
Yeah, right.
I don't
Great.
know. Did you have the soup?
I didn't get any soup. It
Oh,
smelled really good though.
Oh yeah, it was
What kind
it
of bread
paired
did they
well with
have
the
with
beer
it?
there. Oh well, I asked for a rye. They gave me, I think it was like sourdough or something. I don't know. It worked well, whatever it was.
Sounds
And then
bad.
yeah, it's good. I'm just trying to. Like, I know they're probably okay. Should we wait for them? I think they're fine, right? I think I'm actually more concerned about Viv running off with
Right.
wild
She
goblins.
left with the goblins by
And
herself.
I don't know where Reed is, which is probably the worst part. Oh. How, Paul, how far is this bar from where we're at now? Yeah, bacon. Thank you, Dan. Why'd you give him
For
the
those
idea
who
of a
didn't see
blackboard?
that, he just held up a bacon sign.
Yes.
What you don't realize
So, Paul-
is that sign is actually a scratch and sniff sign.
Oh.
You write the word of what
Anyway.
you want to sniff.
Yeah. So how far do we travel?
Yeah, it's a
Paul?
good thing Calandra doesn't have that sign. You're headed back, and as you enter into the square and you're going by the statue, you do catch the end of a town crier, and you catch basically the last two things that they're saying, which is
Okay.
a member of the Overlook Merchants Guild is being questioned for false reporting, as they have claimed to have discovered a number of dead bodies in a back alley amongst the Overlook shops. But when investigated, there were none to be found. The palace guards are questioning them regarding these false accusations and have yet to decide what to do with these individuals. Also, the execution of Edward Andrews on Sunday morning is looking to be the event of the year, as members of the populace are rumored to be joined by a number of notable and noble personalities, including, if rumors are to be believed, officials from the palace. So come one, come all, and bring the kids to this star-studded event Sunday morning. There will be food, fun, drinks, and face painting for the kids. Please pay no attention to the livery and teamster people who will be picketing this event at the time. This is meant to be fun for all. And they go about their way.
Yeah, I never really got the concept of turning an execution into a family fun time. Just seems macabre.
Seems like a right. This is hey kids, let's go see this guy get hung.
Let's go get your kid. Let's go get your face painted and
Hey,
just no red. No
wild.
red.
Just no red. That would be a bad look for an execution.
Okay, Gaius and
Little tasteless.
Calandra, one of you please roll me a 20-sider, please.
Look, Mommy, I'm a corpse.
I got it. Hey.
Wow.
Hopefully that's
Ah.
good for us
Okay.
Oh,
and not good for Paul.
Well, with those good rolls, we'll move to Vivalda in the stone's throw, who is sitting with her new friends, the Brothers Green, who are sitting around a table with her, scarfing up food quicker than Butterbeer can put it on the table, and drinking large tankards of ale and tankards of whiskey, one after the other, and constantly telling Butterbeer to keep them coming.
Oh, Gaius is gonna be so mad at me. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can totally have more. It's totally fine. Yeah.
One of them goes, "That's what we thought, sister. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it."
Totally.
Hey, do you have anything else besides these pies and the stew? Even some bread, something. Anything will do there, Butterbore. Really appreciate it. Thanks. Okay.
It's a really easy name to remember. It literally ends with beer, and that's one of the drinks you're drinking here, amongst the many others.
Oh, I'm sorry there, Bumblebee. I didn't mean to get it wrong. Yeah. Terribly sorry, sister.
Yeah, of course. Anyway.
So, what was this that you came looking for us for?
Right, we have a job that Murph has recommended you guys join us for.
Murph, good guy. Looks like he
yeah.
doesn't sleep well at night, but pretty good guy.
Probably, yeah. How well do you sleep at night?
Oh, I sleep like a prince. I mean, just look at me.
That's great.
Good color in the face, healthy, muscles are good, good appetite, as you can tell.
Which one is telling me this?
It is the one with the mohawk. The other two are just kind of...
Okay. That's
and
great.
my brothers here sleep as well as I do.
That's wonderful. I'm glad you guys can sleep so well with people running after you and all that.
Happens a lot.
Does that happen often? Yeah.
It's part of the business, part of the fun. Makes things exciting, don't you know?
I bet. I certainly believe that.
Yeah.
So, what kind of jobs do you tend to do with Murph?
The one with the straight black hair in the back, cut off in between bites, says, usually flower arranging. And the other, the one with no hair at all and all the piercings, looks at him, gives him a weird look, looks at you, then kind of goes,
Oh, totally. Right. What's your favorite flower then?
Pardon me?
What's your favorite flower?
Oh, anything gold or silver, sparkly.
Silver. I see. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I love that for
We
you.
like
That's
the
great.
bigger the bouquet, the better.
Definitely. Well, I definitely think that you're going to get quite a large bouquet for this job. I'm not sure how much I can
good.
really say before everybody gets here. They really should be here soon. I talked to Gaius. He's kind of sort of like the leader. And I told him through my brain, which was really cool, by the way. I told him through my brain that we were going here, so they should be here soon. I'm just not sure when, because he didn't respond back. I wasn't sure how that worked, if he could respond back afterward to be
So
like,
let me see if I have this straight. You have this advanced elven brain that can talk to other people. That's what you LV people do. But he's not that smart or advanced as you elves, so he couldn't reply. Is that what you're saying?
I don't want to say that. I think that's quite,
You don't
No,
feel that
it's
you
not-
should, or you don't want to. Sometimes they're different. And the other one goes, yeah, I hear you. That's for sure.
That's a good classification. I appreciate you calling me out on that, and I'm not going to make that train of thought happen.
Okay.
Anyway, so I don't know if he's going to message me or not, but they should be on their way because I told them to come here.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep eating and drinking until they get here.
Perfect. That sounds wonderful.
Hey,
I am
Bumblebee,
enjoying
another
this so
round.
much. I said I'm enjoying this so much.
Oh, well,
I
good.
love
Your
this.
your company is a pleasure to behold as well. You
Thank
have been
you.
an
Thank you so much.
absolutely amazingly wonderful hostess.
Oh.
Hostess.
Thank you. I have some experience in that, so thank you.
Yeah, I heard that about you elven types. You have big parties and stuff in the woods, right?
I mean, on occasion, I wouldn't say like necessarily parties, but definitely like gatherings for sure. Sometimes parties. Have you ever been to one?
Not in the woods. We don't go in the woods too often. No,
Oh, right.
we lose each other with all the green.
Oh, that would be difficult.
Yeah. Sometimes when it's like really thick for us, we just have to resort to smell.
Oh, do you have very good sense of smell?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's wonderful. I wish my smell was better. My hearing is pretty good. But
You
my
smell a
smell is
lot
not
better
good.
than any of us, sister.
Oh,
I have to
I
say.
meant like my sense, but thank you. I try. I use I actually use flowers, like real flowers though.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not real familiar with real flowers. It's one of the codes that one of Murph's friends used once in a job we had, and he did this whole flower arranging for a wedding sort of code. That was kind of weird, but it worked. We got the job done.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like it must have worked.
Didn't understand a damn thing of it except that flowers meant gold and gems and shit.
Right. Well, if I see a flower, I'll point it out to you guys, and you guys can smell it, and it smells really nice.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That would be wonderful. Do you expect there to be a lot of flowers on this job?
I don't think so, no. But if I see one, I will point it out to you.
Ah.
Because sometimes people keep them in little vases and put water in it to keep it like healthy. So maybe we'll see one of those.
Okay, so if we see flowers and we like it and we want to keep it, we hold it underwater?
No, not underwater. So flowers have this stem, and it's green, and it's where you can hold the flower. That way you don't damage any of the petals. And you put the green part in the water. That way the water, it's very interesting actually to explain it to you, but the water goes up the stem of the flower and makes it healthier. And it's how you know how you eat? You're eating a lot right now. Flowers.
Oh, this ain't nothing,
water?
sister, let me tell you.
Yeah, well, flowers, they just eat water and sunlight.
Ooh. Yuck.
It's interesting.
The other brother, the one with the straight hair, says, "You'll have to forgive my brother. He's a little, he's not as evolved when it comes to such things as flora and fauna."
That's
And also in the last job with the whole flower arranging thing, he's probably getting confused because there were some individuals that we did have to hold underwater for a long time in order to accomplish things. Yeah. So they were real hungry and thirsty, I think.
Right, totally.
Yeah.
Flowers are they don't have to be underwater. They just have to touch it a little bit.
Okay. Well, we touched these guys real hard.
Oh, well, you wouldn't do that to a flower because that would hurt the flower, and you don't want to hurt a flower.
Oh. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'll show you guys.
Okay, this will be tough to get used to, but I think we can manage it.
Right.
My brother,
well, fortunately,
we'll see.
Yeah, it's not part of this job. Don't worry about that. Like, the flowers have
Okay.
nothing to do with the job we're going to do. So whatever we do with the flowers, that's just like free time. Like, if you guys want to learn about botany, I can show you a little bit.
What is this Vatoni?
Right. It's botany, and it pretty much means like caring for plants and flowers and other living plants.
Pretty
Plants
fancy
are
word
alive.
for that.
I don't know if you knew that. Yeah.
That's a what?
Plants, they are alive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we knew that, didn't we know that? Oh, whatever you say, Rictus.
Well,
Okay.
anyway, continue to eat. That's actually some of these foods have a little bit of plants in them. Now that I think of it,
Really? So
right?
plants
Yeah.
are
So
edible.
you can actually, yes, some of them are. Yeah, some are poisonous.
Ooh.
So be careful which ones you decide to eat.
Hey, Bumblebee, don't you go giving us no poisonous plants here. We'll know.
Oh,
We got the elf with us. Thanks. I'm glad you let us know that.
Of course, yes.
It's about this time that Gaius and Calandra.
I was gonna say,
Oh!
what the hell happened?
Wonderful. Okay.
Like that was really
Gaius,
wild.
Over here.
Ah, Viv. Hello. I see
Hi.
you've brought them to safety.
You
Yes,
see
I have.
stacks of plates and a number of turned over and empty tankards all over the table, some on the surrounding benches, and even a few on the floor.
They have a
You
party.
got quite a bit
Party.
of coin from gambling, right?
Why would that matter right now?
Just making sure. Just making sure.
I think that
Viv.
we're paying for
Okay.
that, guys.
I think. Yeah. Well, it's okay. Brothers Green. Hello. I'm Gaius. Nice to make your acquaintance. I see you have had all the complimentary stuff that has been laid out, but it looks like you've eaten it all and drank it all now. So we can get
Oh, we
down
were
to
told
business.
this was the appetizers.
Yeah, no, you
And
weren't.
the
Because you're lying.
the holes
Listen.
ovaries and stuff.
Nah. Yeah, no,
No
that's
teasing
yeah,
going
you
on
were-
here.
That good news. We're here
Hey,
to talk
he said good
business,
news.
though.
Hold up a minute. Yeah?
We're here to talk business now.
Well, of
About
course.
what
It's a
we're-
business
what-
luncheon, isn't it?
It was, but you ate the luncheon for everyone else too. So that part is done. Yay! Now
No,
just to the business.
You might
part.
want to take that up with your landlord here. If
Yeah.
he's not able to
Oh, I will-
provide enough food for you.
Oh well, it's kind of more of just I'm trying to watch my figure. I gotta.
They look
Check
at each
on
other, and the one
calories,
goes, yeah,
calories.
round. You were saying?
Yeah. Round and
I made
surprisingly
him feel bad
fast,
earlier. It's
too.
a whole thing. So
Yes. Anyway, yeah. Round, but surprisingly fast on my feet. Anywho, Murph has recommended you three for a job.
It's about
Has
this
Murphy-
time that Nikita and Reed both rush in, both out of breath. And you hear them a few seconds before you see them, because you especially hear Nikita's breathing.
Hey now.
Hey, the rest of the party. Oh, Nikita, perfect. Just the person I wanted to ask a quick question about.
As soon as Nikita's
dwarves
inside
are
the door,
natural sprinters.
as soon
I've
as
heard
Nikita's
that
in the door,
from a guy.
I shut it, and I just
Yeah.
kind of hold it with my back.
You mean
Nikita.
faced?
Hot question.
Maybe a little.
Ah,
Okay, there's that. And then I gotta ask, did you happen to tell the mob of dwarves where you were staying?
yet.
Oh, heck. Oh,
she
I don't
told them
do
to
much
go to
All
the
right.
but
temple.
that is one of
She
them.
told them to go to the temple.
I did. I sent them to
They went there
Calandra's
looking for-
temple.
Foxy Codone.
Yep.
oh dear.
Duh.
Okay, well,
Hey,
that's
good
a
enough. I
problem
mean,
we'll
hopefully that
unpack later.
distracts them.
So, Butterbeer, is Murph gonna be around anytime soon?
Probably not till tonight. He's probably sleeping now.
Tonight. Okay, all right. What time does he usually show up? Is it like right after sunset, something like that, or is he like a middle of the night kind of popping up guy?
Any time between dinner and into the morning. Depends what he can work
Okay.
in, if he can swing by. He's only been coming by a bit lately since all the shit's hit the fan in the city.
Well, I guess, Brothers Green, we won't. We have a job to acquire a thing, and I guess we'll wait for Murph to show up to give us the full details because this is his job. I'm just curious what you three are good at. I, granted, didn't get to see how you guys escaped from the group of dwarves. Obviously, you guys are at least good at sleight
Eating and
of
drinking
hand
everything?
for an extent.
They're
What was that,
eating and
Reed?
drinking
Okay.
everything. It looks like they're eating and drinking everything.
Yeah, we're
Reed,
very
it's
good
okay.
at that. As a matter of fact, Mr. Bumblebeard, can we get another round here, please?
Wait.
Yeah, and you know what? Oh, are you buying now? One of the Green Brothers? Because I saw that you had stolen hundreds of gold from those dwarves, so I'm sure
Not
you're more than willing to pay.
hundreds.
Thousands, about 3,000.
Dwarves are liars. That they was nowhere near that amount.
Who wants to
Okay.
take me on right fucking now? Don't be giving me this bullshit. I kept the dwarves off your ass. All right? Just be
And for
straight
that,
with us.
we are immensely thankful.
Exactly. So how much?
Yes, and
It was probably maybe between 1 and 200.
okay. So, guess what? We'll cover
Nikita
the
is-
tab up to this point, but brothers, you guys can obviously take care of yourselves from this point on, and you can stop
Interrupt
exploiting
real
your
quick,
business
sorry.
partners.
Reed, I texted you what was in that one envelope, so you know.
Okay.
Anyway, go on, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And listen, Brothers Green, we're looking for potential business partners, specifically ones that aren't going to try to exploit us. And are
No, a
good-
job's a job. Gambling's a whole
Yeah.
nother thing.
Yeah. And whatever this is, you guys got to eat and drink for free for like a half hour, but somehow consumed calorically what I eat in like a month.
Goblins have a high metabolism.
I don't care.
It's astonishing.
I don't,
Nikita would
I
like
don't care.
to whisper to Reed while she's still catching her breath. Under her breath, only Reed can hear. If you want to check their pockets for any of that gold that they stole, that'd be awesome.
Oh no.
Well,
Don't make it obvious. We don't want to piss them off, but if you get close.
I'll look for an opportunity.
Spasiba.
So, Green Brothers, can you, tell us exactly, because ultimately it's going to end up this group of individuals, whether we want you to join us on our little adventure. Perhaps you
Well,
could,
Perhaps you should share with us, not necessarily the details, but what sort of job is this? Because there's a couple
Oh,
things that we
we're,
specialize in, and I just want to know which one Murph recommended us for.
you're acquiring a high-value item from a secure location.
Okay, so your basic heist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's no problem. That's right up our alley.
Yeah, so just curious, obviously, what Viv kept up. Viv, I assume you saw some of the things that they were capable of. Were they...
Oh, yeah. I mean, Scabies has a grappling hook, and that's how we were able to get up to the rooftop, and escape that way from the dwarves. I'm so sorry I left you with them, Nikita. I didn't know it'd be so much of a trouble.
No, that was the only way to do it. I had to hold them up, and this way you could follow the brothers.
I appreciate
Oh, you
it.
held them up, says Gritzel. He goes, how much did you get them for?
Now, physically held them back from following you.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah,
Yeah, we would never
that's
have done
why
that.
I'm a little bit sweaty.
Oh, they look at each other. The one looks at it and says, I would have said more glistens. Yeah, that's a good word. I would agree with that.
I
Hey,
will
go.
take glistens.
Yeah. We
So-
just want to get along.
Hey,
So
do
yes,
you,
listening.
are you familiar with the building across from the colonnade and the jail, the artifact building? What the hell is it called? The history building here on the west side?
The history building.
Ah, shit.
The Seven Rivers Hall of Law and Antiquities.
That's
Oh.
what.
We're familiar with it in the fact that anytime someone gets their head taken from their shoulders or their neck stretched, it's behind us when we're watching.
Ow. Well, we are going to need to scope it out because that's where our thing is we need to steal.
Oh, really?
Da.
Well, this'll be new. They look at each other and goes, yeah, that should be interesting. Huh. A government building. This'll be fun, says the other one. Yeah, that'll be,
That's
this is
what I wanted
great.
to hear.
Meanwhile, the bald one with all the piercings just, like, is wide-eyed. I mean, because all three of them have these huge yellow eyes with, like, cat's eyes. And he just is, like, nodding, and he's following all the conversations as he's eating the crumbs off different plates. Just kind of, like, agreeing with people and, like, watching, like, a tennis match as the conversations go on.
I'm gonna. I want to just kind of go over by the bar and just keep an eye on them,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll have a drink too. And then if they get up from the table or start to move around, and there's a good opportunity, then I'll just kind of mosey on over there.
I was going to follow Reed and say to him, and what did you, like quietly, what did you find? Would it happen to be envelopes with other money they stole?
It's not money.
Okay.
It's not money.
All right.
I'll show you.
We'll sit here and drink. Okay.
Guys, yeah, you got interrupted. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. So, Brothers Green, I guess, yes, it's going to be a heist thing. I was just curious what your areas of expertise are exactly, just for group cohesion and knowing like what you can do, what we can do to help one another out. And then I would assume we could go at least get a lay of the land, like look around the building and whatnot today while it's before Murph shows up, that kind of thing.
No problem. That sounds like a very good plan. It sounds like you have a good head on your shoulders there, Mr. Big Man. Why don't you share with us? I mean, first of all, we're doing this. Is this a done deal then?
Well, like I said, I guess we wanted to meet you and, like I said, explain to us like what you can do, what you can provide. If we didn't want to involve you, we wouldn't have went to find you. But we're just kind of.
I hope you understand myself as a businessman a well-respected businessman in his field, our fields, right,
Yes.
brothers? And they all nod and what he said. We just want to make sure that the deal is secure before we go kind of giving the milk for free without you having to buy the cow.
To use the cow analogy and take it to its completion, I would also like to be able to look at said cow to check to make sure it's not sickly before buying the milk. This is getting gross now.
The one steps
just
up on the
say-
table and says,
Jesus.
Anyway, listen.
I eat on that table. Get down.
We would like, also scooch.
okay. Just trying to, make things easier for you.
It's
And when
fine.
I say make things easier for you, don't go reading liberally into that comment.
I was not going to, but now I did just a little bit. Basically, explain to us what you can provide for us, and then me and the rest of the group will put our heads together and we'll let you know. And most likely, you guys will be involved, and then we can scope it out while we wait for Murph. But you don't just go, say, purchasing the skills of individuals for a job. I don't hire a person to build a house made of brick if I don't know that they can make bricks. You know, this is kind of what I'm looking at. Like, obviously, you do have some skills. I just want to know what the rest are.
When you guys perform a heist, what do you typically do?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of planning that goes into it. Depends on what resources you have. It depends on what who your connections are. Depends on what they can give you.
Right.
Like I said,
What
I
roles
just
do you
want to.
typically play?
You see, it depends on a couple things. It depends how many people are involved in the heist. Depends how many people are going in, how many are staying out. Depends on who has what skills that might be best served. Depends on where the item is being held. Is it being held in a vault? Is it being held in an office? Is it secretly being held possibly in the walls of floorboards? Is it perhaps part of a person? We've had that happen on occasion. Or is it totally unknown as to where it might be, which kind of creates a whole nother issue? But, you know,
What's your favorite role?
Pardon me?
What's your favorite role to play in a heist?
Usually some form of sneaking and kind of scoping things out. My brother Gristle here, and he's drinking. That would be me, and says he's particularly good with locks on occasion, depending on the sort. Although I do see that you have a person who can be quite astute over there. Your little the boy over there drinking.
I'm just looking over my mug, like at the
Quite the little chatterbox he is, ain't he?
At
You're
times.
eating
Meanwhile,
What, Reed?
meanwhile, I show Nikita the parchment that you sent me that was in the envelope. Also, the cards I found. I show her all that.
So as you can see, it's a couple different things. It all depends on the situation. But like I said, before we starting to do any serious discussions or planning, I just want to confirm that we're doing a deal.
Oh, yes. And,
Because now
before-
here's the deal with the brothers. We're respectable individuals and we consider ourselves professionals. So we enter into the deal. If up until the day of the job, either of us decide that we don't want to work with the others, we can call it quits and no hard feelings.
Okay.
That's
Okay. Now, if we're going to go into the planning with you, we do like to be compensated for our time. So that usually comes back to about, for the three of us, probably, we'll say a quarter of our share. If you've enlisted our services and then up until the last minute decide that, and we've done work with you with the planning and helping to set things up, but at the last minute you decide not to utilize our services that we provide as professionals, we would then expect a quarter of our share in recompense.
Is it possible for me to do an insight check to see if they're trustworthy?
Absolutely.
All right.
It's a no. It's no. It's just no.
Who is it over at the bar there, drinking with his nose in a tankard?
I'm like talking to the mug. It's no.
I only rolled a 4.
They
Really
look,
trustworthy.
you know, you've been sitting here with them, and you fully believe that everything that's come out of their mouth, they fully believe.
I think they're trustworthy.
Oh, I blow foam from my ale. if Viv says that,
I
I've
will
been with
pat
them,
his back.
like all day, and they've been great company and very honest with me. So
Okay, well, I guess quick circle up, friends. Just a moment, brothers. We just want to converse amongst ourselves real quick. it sounds like it's a good deal, but just where we want to converse amongst ourselves real quick, and just
You want us to step over to the bar since we all seem to be a little parched at the moment?
Hey, if you want to swap it that way, that's fine too.
Make things
That's
easier
your
for you.
choice.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
they kind of walk over.
I make eye contact with Butterbeer, and I'm like, not on my tab.
And I guess Reed and I will come over to the table then.
Yep. And they kind of eye you as you walk by, the two of you, and just kind of smile.
Yep, nod.
If I see a what looks like a coin pouch or something, I'm gonna do my best to stealth it as I walk by
You
them.
see, they're wearing vests and kind of pants that come down to the knees, and you see periodic bulges in the vests and pouches, in the vests and pants.
Yeah.
I'm avoiding the pants bulges.
It's where people keep their pouches. No matter what your pouches may be there, Reed, of whatever you're thinking. If you would like to make
please
an
stop.
attempt to do something, you just let me know, and we'll see what happens.
No, I'll wait. I'll go talk with everybody first.
You guys heard what their proposal is to join us.
Yeah, I don't trust them.
What do you guys think?
I don't
It's a
trust
good start. Yes. Well, why?
Well, they don't like dwarves, and then
Do they
I'm
not
pretty
like
sure they're-
dwarves? I didn't get that vibe.
I don't think
I
they
mean, they
like
just
dwarves.
stole
And-
from dwarves.
They said
Yeah, but
that
they said-
dwarves
From
aren't
anybody.
trustworthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
said
dwarves
dwarves
aren't
are
trustworthy.
fine,
Okay, so they're a little racist.
but I think
Gotcha.
they mean those other
specious.
ones.
They actually were saying some weird things about elves too, so they might be.
They might just not
prejudiced
know
in
shit
certain
about
ways.
shit.
They might just be assholes.
Nah.
Perhaps,
It could just
and
be
they're just bringing race into it for some reason.
just giant assholes, just for some reason.
Nah. I think if we can split them up and maybe, Reed goes with, I think he said Gristle was good with locks, and then, just kind of keep our eyes on them, that would be best. Assuming they're coming. That way we have backup for stuff, depending on who's doing what, keeping an eye out, that kind of thing. Obviously the one who doesn't
Yeah.
speak, but seems to
Who's your
understand shit.
He's good with the grappling hook and perhaps maybe other tools.
We'll have to ask them about climbing the building, possibly getting on the roof. I think
Viv, you
yes.
said they climbed to escape, right? So
But yeah, it was a grappling hook, and we just grabbed up the rope and we walked up, and then we just roof jumped from there.
oh, okay. I guess what we should do is decide: do we want their assistance? I believe the only person that is somewhat competent at taking things that don't belong to them is Reed,
Yeah.
and the rest of us, not so much. I think they'd be a good addition temporarily, just for their the additional skill sets.
I agree.
Because I don't see like myself and Nikita, Calandra stealthing around a bunch.
No.
Like we'll do our damnedest, but we're not. Like,
Well, can't you do that quiet spell?
the silence thing, yes. Problem is, it just makes everything in a certain area silent for a period of time. Like, it's good in a pinch to say, like, oh, we see a guard. I cast silence on them, and then you go in and judo chop them in the neck or whatever. But, or fry their face on a grill, whatever your preferred means of taking people out are.
Yes.
Yes. Like there's magic that I can use to help you guys out. It's just
Eldred
you
does
wouldn't
that
want me to
invisible
say,
thing
like-
too.
I don't know if he's just invisible or he just is really good at hiding behind things.
We have to ask him when him and Butt Trumpet come back from the university.
Yeah, they're a little running a little behind schedule, I think. But if they don't show up soon, we can go and. Oh yeah, no, they're probably just sitting in an anteroom, just waiting, sitting on chairs.
Duh.
Poor bastards. Anyway, yeah. So I guess the question is, do we want to have them along? Yes or no?
Did you?
I mean, we're going to be
did
giving
you,
up some of our shares.
I was gonna say, did you name a price yet?
No, it's because we don't know how much we're going to acquire from this job. We're all just getting shares.
Okay.
A percentage, a portion of whatever. Yes, Nikita.
Just thinking off the top of my head, I was going to try to talk to the brothers about possibly paying the dwarves back since the establishment. I know, it's not going to work. So I've asked Reed to scope them out, and if something happens to them during the escapade, the heist, oh well, or we just don't pay them their entire share.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I know you've made some moral obligations to yourselves for these dwarves, and I appreciate that. If we're going to use these gentlemen in the job, and I get the vibe from Murph that if we do anything untoward toward our partners or him in trying to screw people over while the job is going on, we will suffer accordingly. Now, that's not saying you can't do something once the job is done.
And Nikita, they might be part of a guild or something.
No,
Yes.
I know. I've been thinking about
And
it.
God forbid we had the halfling thing going on for a while. The last thing I need to do is kill endless waves of goblins. Again.
Duh. I'm thinking if I ever see any of those ridiculous Ironbeard assholes again, I'll just tell them the establishment was not willing to work with us in terms of paying them back. And I cannot help them. Just don't gamble with goblins.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking
All
of
right,
gambling,
so good stuff.
and I show everybody that thing. I'm like, look at all these numbers I found on this page. It was under a table.
Numbers? Of what?
It looks like a parchment with...
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
It's the winning lotto numbers.
Nikita is not smart enough. Cheryl is currently decoding it right now. So I'll just keep my mouth shut.
Well, if it's a number and a letter substitution,
Yeah.
and let's see, is there
So
a
if you-
number higher than
26, no.
26? I don't believe so. All right.
23 is the highest digit I saw.
Yeah.
24.
Okay, yeah, it might be just a simple number letter substitution.
Maybe it's Elven.
Okay. Do the elves communicate? I actually know Elvish.
Sorry?
So it's,
Calandra,
You
maybe
know
it's
Elvish?
maybe it's Gnomish. Maybe it's Gnomish.
yeah, I know Elvish.
I think it's common. It's just numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Elvish, I know Dwarvish. Sounds good.
It's so weird that it was under a table. I don't know why.
It was in an envelope.
Well hidden under a table.
It was
Which
glued.
table
It
was
was
it
it was
under?
stuck under a chair and folded up, and on the outside was a word, kind of shaped like a rectangle, like a long rectangle.
In a
And-
language I don't know.
On one end was like half an asterisk, about half an inch from the outside of it.
So far, the first word is brother.
Brother Edward's execution is the one time that is as far as I've gotten.
Wow.
Interesting.
Very fast at this. Common's not my first language, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't have that excuse. So, okay. Yeah, keep deciphering those hieroglyphics there. So, to answer the question, are we good? You can tell the Green Brothers we're working with them? Yes? No?
Duh. I am
And if
okay
we
with
do,
this.
please no backstabbing, stealing, any of the sort from our end. Now, granted, if they do it to us, fair game at that point.
Yeah, we gotta watch our backs.
I'm all, yes,
Duh.
I don't, because I think Reed, probably you're going to be working with them a lot compared to the rest of us in the breaking in portion, potentially.
Okay.
Viv is also one of our quieter companions, I believe. You're good at stealth, right, Viv?
I am. I'm pretty good. Not as
All right,
good as
so-
Reed, but still pretty good.
That's not true. You're pretty good. We
No,
were awesome
you're,
when we were
you're
at that
really
house.
good at stealth, though. Actually, like it's very impressive. So you don't have to. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right, sounds good. I guess flag down the Brothers Green unless anyone else has anything to say before we bring them back over.
No.
Should we hide this?
Yes.
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 Hide this.
Okay.
Also, and I showed there were some cards. I'm like, there were cards too, but I'll put that all away.
There were 3 kings also stuck under the table. This was under a chair.
Do I know about who was sitting at this chair? Or what table this was?
The chair was opposite where the cards were. The cards were stuck under the table where the brothers were sitting.
Okay.
There, you see enough adhesive to one side that a bunch of other cards were under the table, and these were these 3 kings, which were the 3 cards that were left. This was stuck under the chair on the opposite side of the table.
And who was sitting over there when they were playing?
It looked like a dwarf.
One of the dwarves, probably.
One of the dwarves, yeah. And by the way,
One of the
the
many
word
dwarves.
on the outside of this folded up piece of paper was Therich.
Can you spell that,
Marriage?
please?
I
Sure.
mentioned that, of course. Yes.
Therich.
The Rich or Therich?
Yeah, yes, my name, the Rich.
I wish that was my name. Read the rich. Read the rich. Maybe the missing part on the front, on the other side of this asterisk thingy was read.
Probably not, though. That would be weird coincidence that you found it.
I mean, I've never really believed in like fate, but you never know. Maybe this note will make me rich.
Okay, I guess let's get the Brothers Green back over here, then, unless anyone's got anything else.
Okay, we'll say that Viv and Nikita kind of are working in their head on
Yes.
some stuff, and that this is
Yes.
not open on the table. But I'll leave, being that 2 of you seem to be working, I'll leave it out. Okay, so the brothers, 2 of them come over. The one seems to be waiting for another tankard, and he brings it over. Big smile on his face. So,
Yes,
what have we decided?
I think we're good. We'll work with you, Brothers Green.
Very good. All 3 brothers immediately stick a hand out to you.
And guys, kind of like one at a time.
They
Just
clasp
shake and-
firmly and shake, and then it goes to the next person and the next person, each one of you. Is there anyone who doesn't shake?
I'll shake.
I will say.
I shake.
I'll
Should I
check my
also
person for any.
Investigation
Yeah,
check to make sure I'm not missing anything.
Yeah, I'm staying at arm's length, so far away. Shake.
Okay, Nikita, give me an investigation check, please. And guys, did you say you did the same?
Oh yeah, that was me. Just quick pat down.
Okay, both of you
Um,
give me a basic investigation. Yeah, both of you seem like nothing seems to be missing.
Nah, fuck.
All right. Now that we have a agreement going on, I guess Brothers Green, you know the location and everything. I guess we can go check it out, or do you want to do some pre-planning ahead before we?
Well, do you? I know working with Murph from past experience, he's a very detail-oriented guy. Has he been able to provide you with any information before we get started?
Yes. Gaius pulls out the map. Did Murph take that back with him, or did he?
No, that's yours.
That with us? Okay. Yeah. So he gave us this map, and then Gaius will give them the details that Murph gave him about potential locations, all that other stuff.
So they go, oh, okay. This is good. This is good. This is a lot more than we've had to work with on numerous other jobs. So, okay. So 4 floors, that sounds about right, if my memory serves. What else do you have?
The potential locations, so potentially, was it the 4th floor, the basement, or the locations of the
And
item
third
in
floor.
question, and the 3rd floor as well. Yes,
Okay. So we've got 3 separate possibilities.
correct.
Duh.
Okay, right there. That's our first choice you're going to have to make. It depends. Something you need to consider is if this is something where you're going to have the building to yourself and you have all the time in the world to explore, or if it needs to be a quick in out and you need to get in and out as quickly as possible, because if you have all the time in the world to explore, just go around and do a quick run of each floor. But if time's of the essence, as it were, it's the consideration you might want to split people up to the different floors, which then brings into account all sorts of other things. If there are any known, if anyone's going to be in the building, if something horrible were to happen to them, would someone notice?
Murph has specifically requested no death, no bodies.
Okay.
There will be guards, and we are not to molest them at all.
Or kill them.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No harm.
Just as long as we're clear.
That's
there will
no
be
problem.
guards, so we're probably going to have to split up. But is one of you particularly good at looking for things, like investigating, digging quietly, that kind of thing?
Digging, yeah, if you think digging is going to apply, we do have experience with that. You know, we lived under mountains after all.
The dwarf tilts her head.
Murph does?
No, the dwarf. And they lived under mountains, and I'm like, oh, no shit.
You get it. You get it.
Yeah. I meant like digging, not digging through stuff, you know, when you have to like move papers, move stuff, you know what I mean?
Gotcha. Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Yeah, it's all good.
So, okay. And the no harm is no problem. I do know, I do have to ask, just for the sake of detail, is that a firm or is that a preferred request?
Pretty sure that was firm.
Okay.
We can double. You know what? Let's double check with Murph later tonight when he shows up.
Okay.
See. That's more his thing, but
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Yeah, then if time is of the essence, you said?
Duh.
time is.
Sorry, I was going to say, I think we were thinking about doing this heist the night before the execution.
Oh, that's good. That's for then the getaway, which is a big part of this thing. Don't forget, each step is very important, but the getaway, a lot of people don't put the time and thought into that, and that's where they get caught up and tripped up. So you are going to have one hell of a diversion for when you're trying to leave here. So that is, what is the technical term? And Gristle says, fucking excellent. Exactly. So that's good. That's very
I
good.
like how you see it, Gristle.
Oh, thank you. While Rictus is usually the brains of the outfit, every now and then I come up with some intellectual properties that I feel that maybe I should put a trademark on.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
there
a
you go.
wolf coin.
Yeah. So, because of time, you might want to split up into 3 teams. So it's a good good thing that you have the 4 of you and the 3 of us.
We should have another
2 more.
assistant. They're out doing. Well, oh yeah, 2 more, depending upon
Oh,
timing.
even
Now,
better.
They might be. Maybe we have a few people hang outside of the building as lookout or whatever. As a thing, I don't know.
That's good.
this is
That's
your-
smart. Because you don't want to be surprised in a situation like this. So if you have someone keeping an eye on things,
Yeah.
that's fine and dandy, as it were. Yeah, things could get pretty funky if people start showing up that you weren't expecting,
Yeah.
or even if you see stuff that you weren't. Just, one thing we've learned with this sort of work: always expect the unexpected, because I don't know. Things just have a chance of happening, and they just do. So
Yeah.
if you can roll the punches and think on your feet and think outside the box and all that sort of stuff, then you're in good shape. You have to be flexible. What we usually like to do is, unless you already have ideas of how you want to utilize us, one of the things that we can do is, if you tell us what everyone's specialty is, we can fit ourselves in and kind of fill in the holes, as it were, if that works.
I think that would be great.
This is why our friend Gaius was asking about your specific skill set. That way we know which holes you can fill. As you can guess, I am not a very stealthy person.
The 3 brothers just look at Kalandra and like,
I need to get a drink.
I'm with you, sister. We could go for one too.
Some genetic development.
Boy.
But I am probably going to wind up being a lookout because I don't sneak very well.
That makes sense, and no offense meant by that, by the way.
No, I got you.
I could climb up on the roof real easy.
Okay.
I was just going to say I'm pretty good at climbing, as you saw earlier, but I'm still getting used to city layouts. I'm more accustomed to trees.
Well, funny you mentioned that, because in the cities, we have something that's very much like the trees in a forest. They're called buildings. And what we found...
I understand that.
Well,
Yes.
what
We were climbing on them earlier, remember?
Yes, and that's exactly what I'm thinking about. We went from tree to tree, and none was the
Right.
wiser, as it were. And this is just sort of occasion. We could go from one tree to this tree, and then no one would see anybody climbing up the side of a building, which sometimes draws attention from unwanted presences.
Right.
We might have to double check with
Intake.
Murph again. He mentioned the differing heights of buildings around this specific building. They might be significantly shorter,
Ah,
but
I do remember
that's something
talking
we
with
can
Murph.
scope out.
I think there is at least one building that matches the size of this one. So, and then of course, myself and our 2 compatriots that aren't here right now, also Kalandra, are magic users. So we have
oh, they're good for the
Options.
little fiddly bits in the plan.
yes. So we have
Fid-
plenty of
Fiddly
Fiddly bit.
bit.
Yeah,
people.
I love the fiddly bits.
exactly. Makes
We
things
know.
interesting, they said.
We know.
You know you love it, Nikita.
Also, I'm really good at stuff.
That is good to know. Now,
Yes, and all of us are competent at general mayhem.
Yeah. That is
Well-
my strong suit.
yeah, unfortunately, that's the one skill that you hope not to have to use in a
Yeah.
case like this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This sort of job calls for delicate approaches and the delicate fingers of doing things.
Delicately.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. My vocabulary isn't that great.
It's all good.
Thank you. But yeah, it's a matter of little bit of fixing a lock here, little bit of doing a little diversion there if you hear a god, a little bit of hiding your shit here if that god keeps coming. These are all things. Did Murph give you anything on what sort of security this building has?
Duh.
He definitely recommended going at night. There would still be guards making rounds, but he didn't specifically say how many there were.
Okay, that's kind of a normal thing, but the fact that you know that there are gods is a good thing, because if there are gods, they usually do patrols.
Exactly.
So that's something that you have to keep in mind. And with this map, it does look like there's some places to hide from patrols if in a pinch.
I'm gonna lean to Gaius and I'm gonna whisper something because I don't know if I want the goblins to hear this.
That's fine.
And I'm gonna say, I just got an idea. What if we use that thing that does the scrying to watch the gods do their rounds so we know what their usual rounds are?
The problem, I mean, unless those things work different than what I know of the scrying spell, you actually have to know the individual.
Right, never mind.
Well, just so you know, for future reference, because like if we had like a lock of hair from them, or we knew them better, there are ways to make it easier to scry a person. Sadly, we just know that there are guards in the building, so it probably wouldn't work. Plus, I think we're trying to save those for you and Calandra.
I have an idea then.
Potentially help.
What if we get up really early tomorrow morning and we watch the gods leave and they go home to sleep?
Well, the one thing
but then
we
we can't
could
scry. Never
potentially
mind.
do- Well, here's the thing. We want the guards that are going to be there at night, so it's still daytime now. If we could potentially at least get a
Do it
look
tonight?
at the guards, well, just get to like see them going in and what, and get an idea of
I
what they
think that's a
look
great
like.
idea.
It's a possibility. I'll have to hit the books for a few minutes to figure out exactly. Once again, not sure if these scrying stones work exactly like the scrying spell. So, but we only have 3, so
We could do
we
3
could
floors,
scry.
maybe?
Well, here's the thing. Once again, we kind of had, at least this was my idea, saving them for you. 2 of them, saving them for you and Calandra for your missing person thing, because you, I assume, know who you're looking for. You could use the scrying stone. Literally, if they're in the city somewhere, you should be able to find them. Calandra,
Thank
I
you.
know they're looking. Yes, that's. I mean, what are friends for? And with Calandra, seeing as we've kind of sidetracked her from her initial mission, this is kind of I was thinking recompense. I mean, here's the thing. I have clairvoyance where I can set up a thing if I've seen the area before. So if there are windows and I can see inside, I can potentially put little magic eyes in places.
All right.
Now, granted, they don't last super long, but I think that might work as well. So that's why I'm saying if we can walk around, I can look and see into places. That might help us out. But I like your idea and where your head's at, and we still have that third one we don't know what to use for. I'll look into it more to see if we could use it for something with the mission.
Sure.
And if you need to use more than one, save one for Vivalda, of course, and then you can use 2 if you need.
Yeah, I'm
If we have
gracious.
to. If we have to.
If you, yeah. I think we have a competent crew of individuals that I don't know. Scrying will seem extreme on this, and knowing our luck, one of the guards that works at night won't be that same guard that works the night. It's like the weekend guards or some
Tonight,
nonsense.
right?
But yeah, so I'll look into that more and see. But that's not a bad idea.
What
Okay,
time
back
is
to
it
the-
now?
It is probably going on lunchtime.
We've been busy today.
Yeah.
I know, it's a long day.
And the
It's like that hallway. It's just
Gristle
goes on
does
forever.
say not to cause an issue, but we do have to get a little bit of sleep.
Is today Friday or is it now Saturday?
It is Friday. It is
Till
Friday.
Friday.
So-
Under
The
under
night
under
times.
my breath, but not so subtly. Reed is very much like, not in my room.
Anyway, so I guess
we want
The bunnies.
Did
Hannibal
we
would
want
wanna-
to scope out the building today and then you guys go get some sleep and then tomorrow do whatever? Or what are you thinking?
Well, we could go get some sleep and take a roundabout way of getting home and go by the building and give it a quick perusal. And then later tonight we can get together and compare notes if you want.
I like it.
sounds like a good idea. When Murph is here, you can come back
Yeah.
and we can all talk it over.
Okay. He says, "Well then, is there anything else you'd like to cover with us before we go for the day?"
No, not that I can think of.
Just gonna pull out the crayons for me and read.
Make sure you're well fed.
Ah, lunch. They sit back down.
No, I mean
No,
unless
no,
you guys are
like-
buying.
Like I'm saying, like come well fed for the heist on the next time.
Oh well, of course, of course.
Yes.
We'll celebrate with a meal afterwards. And they get up again, and they head out the door.
Lean over to Vivaldo. We can take him to the temple after. Then you won't have to worry
Sure.
about it. Yeah,
Okay. What's at
Yeah.
the temple?
there's food.
Mhm.
Wonderful.
Gaius.
What?
Did anyone
I didn't say
figure out
anything.
what the parchment said?
I did. I was studying it in my common. So
No.
it says, Brother Edward's execution is the one time that he will be out in the open. Do we take that opportunity, or is it too late? Also, there will be lots of sweet meats for roasting, and we haven't had a proper cookout in a while. I don't know why they added that onto this note, but I guess they're they're prioritizing the execution and the meat. So I'm not sure if they necessarily mean that the opportunity is getting the meat, or if it's getting something with the execution. But yeah. Does anybody need me to repeat it?
Yes,
what was
please.
the first part again? Yes.
Sure. So, Brother Edward's execution is the one time that he will be out in the open. Do we take that opportunity, or is it too late? Also, there will be lots of sweetmeats for the roasting, and we have, yeah, you know that part.
Okay, we'll be out in the open.
Do we take
Correct.
that opportunity, or is it too late?
Who do you think the
Well,
brother
it sounds
is?
like somebody's trying to do a breakout.
Perhaps. Yeah, they say Brother Edwards. I don't think you'd want your brother.
Member of a church of some
I
kind.
guess it depends on how your familial life has been. I know some
Perhaps.
people's
I don't know. I don't think you
families.
could proclaim brother before their name
Yeah.
if you weren't like feeling like they were a brother, you know?
Well,
What was the
But there are
well, in
organizations
my order,
where, yeah, they
brother's a title.
Right.
what was the sweetmeat part? Sorry, I'm
Oh yeah,
thinking
so
like-
they said there will be lots of sweetmeats for the roasting, and we haven't had a proper cookout in a while. So I think we're finding some sort of organization that hasn't had a proper cookout in a while.
Why
could
do
go
I
for a
think
cookout.
that's too literal?
What does it actually
Um,
mean? What does it really mean?
Well, they're cannibals. Or
Oh,
Well, there's just lots of
we
meat.
hear something. ah, When we were in the palace, didn't we hear something about like inquisitors, investigators needing bodies?
What?
I don't
Needing
know.
bodies?
Yeah, I
Oh.
think this church might be involved with what you're going to see in the eastern districts in terms of use of corpses.
Oh,
But I'm not very bright, and I'm extremely paranoid. So,
I,
And still alive, so it's served you well.
barely.
I know, it's kind of an afterthought. They say, also, there will be lots of sweet meats for the roasting we haven't had a proper cookout in a while. You know, like, just chill.
just a barbecue.
You might pass
You
that
know.
under a gambling table.
Mm.
Talk about a barbecue under the gambling table in a secret shore.
I'm really
Right?
getting hungry.
You might.
Oh, I wonder if this is in
Mm.
reference to all those
Bacon?
explosions that happened before. No, not the bacon.
Not bacon.
Sweetmeats for the
We have pocket
roasting.
bacon for Reed. Someone give me some pocket bacon.
Cookout. Cookout could be explosions.
Yeah.
And sweetmeats
And-
could be higher up people. They mentioned it would be a star-studded fucking shadooby-doo.
Oh.
That's it.
They could
I
be-
go over to the bar and ask Butterbeer for some food.
Can you bring
No,
some back,
please.
Reed? Thank
He goes,
you.
should I get enough for everybody?
Yes,
Mr.
please.
Okay.
Lots of meat, please.
And
bacon,
well, I'll
whatever you
give you
got.
what I have.
Sure.
Drinks as well for everybody.
Da. Spasiba,
Yeah. Okay.
Butterbeer.
I'm alright, I've had enough. Thank you, though.
I'll take hers.
Okay. Butterbeer goes about getting that together. And Butterbeer goes about and he starts pulling beers and he's already gone the back and mentioned about the food order to someone back there.
Okay, so
Oh, no. I
broken
know,
up,
like, to
it's
be lined up
2
with letters
lines
on
per
it.
thing.
What is it, Viv? Viv knows something.
I don't know yet. I'm trying something, but it could be something completely wrong.
And are you doing the first letter in each line?
Damn it, that's what I'm.
It's not really making a word though.
No.
That's fine. But what about each thing is
First
broken up
letter in each
into
word.
Well, no. If you look at the structure, there's 2 lines, then a break, 2 lines, then a break. Reorganizing what words fall in those with others, if that
Amethyst.
would make more sense.
Brother Edwards, Exik,
What,
Ocean,
brother,
and then it would be the one time. Oh, sorry, is the one, and then it goes time. So it could be brother time.
Butterbeer brings over drinks for everybody. Ales and whiskeys enough for all. Says the food will be up shortly.
Spasiba,
Thank you.
Butterbeer.
Don't mention.
okay, so, well, they're decoding. I guess we'll go and take a look around the building. The Brothers Green did bring up a good idea of if we have 3 different locations that we got to peruse, we'll assign each a brother. The question
Yeah.
is, who's going to go where? I think the most difficult location is probably going to be the basement because we have
Yeah.
no knowledge about it.
Yeah.
So I would say stealthiest people go there. Then 3rd floor, 2nd stealthiest, 4th floor, least so.
Whoever's left.
Yes.
Are we? Did
So
it sound like the plan was we were all gonna try and get on rooftops?
well,
to
we
get
could
in?
all access. Well, one thing we'll do is we'll scope out the building and see if there's any other entrances. But
Yeah.
at least for the third and fourth floor, coming from the roof is the best option.
Duh.
Now, if there's a better option for basement crew, like if there's a convenient, hinged door on the side of an alley.
Hmm. Maybe halfling size.
Yes,
Precise.
halfling, goblin sized. So I think we need to decide who may go where. I think Reed, you should probably be with the one who goes to the basement with
Duh.
one of the Green brothers.
Okay.
I don't know. I would say we try to get a magic user on each team,
Duh.
if possible. The problem is, I don't know which one of us is stealthy-ish enough for that.
Blood Trump is
I don't
pretty
know
stealthy.
but Eldred's also kind of sneaky, so I don't
He
know
does
if one
that
of them
invisible
might.
thing, yeah.
He does something. Also, we don't know if he's going to be available for this, depending upon
Hmm.
what happens at the university. So, tentatively, we could say Butt Trumpet and Eldred for the basement, depending upon what Butt Trumpet feels. I don't know if they're stealthy or not, though, to be quite honest. I know the magic they use can sometimes be very unstealthy,
Yeah.
like with the pillars
So I'm-
in that one place with the people and the mashing.
That was
I was
crazy.
thinking. I was thinking Reed with you, Gaius, and then one of the goblins for the basement.
Yes, I think each floor should get their Brother Green
The
equivalent.
third floor can be Vivalda, Calandra, and maybe Butt Trumpet with a Brother Green. And then fourth floor, who have we
Maybe
got
you've
left?
Eldred.
Oh, that will go beautifully. No, and one more Brother Green. And one more Brother Green who would then be the sneaksy one. Actually, that might work, except, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, well, like I said, I think each team should have a Brother Green and a magic user if we can make that happen. I know I can enhance myself through certain magics to at least make me more competent at stealth down Calandra. I realized what I said after the fact. But yes, I can use magics to buff up my ability to be stealthy.
Love when you're buffed up.
Thank you. I'll take that for the compliment. I hope it is. Anywho, so I guess tentatively that's how we would break up the teams. One thing, so I have one of those beans that we got that grows
Yeah.
vines and whatnot. I'm thinking maybe tossing one around like the back of the building, and the vines will grow up and over as an well. Paul, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Eldred say like those were? Do they grow at a normal pace, or is it like magically accelerated, growing like those beans that did like the vine?
He had
up
said
and,
that it was accelerated. He wasn't sure how fast, but it's definitely faster than a normal plant.
So another option would be like the night of, toss one and then have the vines grow up and over as a potential another avenue for escape. Because I don't know, I'm sure this place has windows, so putting one near windows and like if you got to leave in a hurry from the floor you're on, out a window, down the vines, into the night kind of thing. I think the next best option would be probably taking a look, get a lay of the land, see what buildings are around it. All in favor?
Yes.
The quiet has it.
Yep.
I know there's still people doing advanced cryptography in the background. So.
I've written it all out and I don't see a pattern.
Well, what I'm thinking of was that the fact that it was like, what was it? The way it's broken up, it's Brother Edward's execution. Then what are the next three words?
Is
It's
the one time.
So it stops at 1, and
stops
then,
at
like
1.
I said, so stop at 1, and then the net. So what I'm saying is that there's a break between every two lines. So Brother Edward's execution is the 1. Now, obviously, we think it makes sense that the next word would be time, but what if that connects with something somewhere else? So we're assuming that Brother Edward's execution is the 1, and we're assuming time is the next word, but it might not be, because, like I said, between line 2 and line 3, there's a big break. So I'm curious if either, like, you connect line 3 with line 6, or this might be a snake thing where you go from Brother
wrap
Edward's
around
execution,
instead of
wrap around. So 15145 word is connected to 25 instead.
On the way, are you guys headed to the building, or?
Yes, yeah. We can just imagine that some
We're
of
heading to the
our
building,
parties
and
just
Viv
got like
has
their
notebooks.
notepads in hand. But yes, I'll let them continue to decrypt the crypto as we go to get the lay of the land at the colonnade and the antiquity building.
Okay.
Whatever the
I make sure I
target
finish my
building
meal or take it with me.
Yep. Yep. I wolf my food down with the drink.
We'll say that you guys give yourself enough time that
Yeah.
you can enjoy your meal without having to wolf things down.
Gotta keep our energy up.
So, so Paul, now walking around the building, is there? I guess what I'm trying to like. How many entrances and exits are on the first floor, door-wise, and then windows?
Okay.
Are there a lot? Are there a few?
So you, in about an hour or so, hour and a half, I think, just strolling and talking, make it down to the colonnade in about an hour and a half. And a couple things you notice. The colonnade seems to be pretty bustling. Behind the barracks is the prison and the House of Justice. And already you can see people kind of structuring out a gallows in front of the prison that's pretty large. And there's also seems to be platforms set up in which they're putting bleachers. And they're building these as you arrive. They're obviously just beginning, but they are started. This is what you see. This building here,
On the big gray one on the bottom?
yeah, with the skylight
sunroof?
here, which you probably shouldn't be
Yeah.
seeing, but
That's okay. I was gonna say I wanted to try and get up high and somewhere nearby and take a look at the roof. So.
But yes, no. Say we walked around and
okay.
got the
Well,
lay of the
first
land.
things
That's why we
first.
see all of this.
First things first. You're looking at the building. The gray part beneath here is all part of the colonnade, which is that white marble. Just imagine the white marble going on for a couple hundred feet.
Gotcha.
So that's the building. There are windows on the left-hand side of it. The entrance is dead center. There is a guard standing outside the entrance. There are big double doors. Glass on either side of the entrance. And looking through that, you can see a very large marble lobby that seems to have glass cases set up around it. The building itself, there are windows on the second, third, and fourth floors only on the left side. On the right side, the only windows are on the fourth floor.
Does that sound like it lines up with the map that we had?
You didn't see windows mentioned in the map.
So, front of the building, windows on the left side on every floor, right side just
Except for the
floor.
first.
except for the first. So second and third stories don't have windows. Right hand side front of the building. Got it.
So fourth floor has windows on both sides. Second and third floor only windows on the left side.
Okay.
Door dead center, first floor. The building to the right of it looks like it looks like a big house, but like a big house that's maybe been turned into some sort of government building. It is the same height as this building, and you notice on the roof there seems to be some trees or bushes or something overhanging.
And that's also 4 stories.
What's odd though, actually, the building on the right is 5 stories, but the same height.
You had said that they were extra tall on the inside for the Hall of Antiquities.
Yes.
Okay.
That's so they can fit big treasures in there.
And if you walk around, you can see on the right-hand side the building behind that one with the plant life on the roof also seems to be the same height.
The only outside door looks like the one with the guards.
From the front, that's all you can tell.
I
Can we
think
peek around the whole building?
I was going to say, let's just take a. We'll go around, see what the left side's like, see if there's windows, other doors, go to the back and the side, the right side as well.
I think Murph had said he knows someone who could get us into one of the buildings next to it. Not sure if
I
it's
think
the
the
one
one
with
with
the
the-
plant.
I think it's the one with the plant life.
Yeah,
Nikita?
that's
that
kind of my
sounds
guess.
right
Yeah.
Yeah. as an entry point. So, and it looks
Yeah.
relatively okay. So we could maybe obviously we're not having this conversation anywhere near a guard or other people.
Right.
Just want to put that out in the world, Paul.
Yeah, no, the colonnade is so big, there is plenty of room to be alone from other people. It's this huge,
Gotcha.
flat marble patio, basically.
Yeah, we could throw a couple grappling hooks from one side to the other, get the ropes taut, and use those as just shimmy across
Climb
or
over.
whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But so yeah, Paul, we'll circumnavigate the building to see
Okay.
what other means of entrance and exit are possibly there.
Okay, the building with the plants right on the colonnade looks to be in operation. You see someone go in and someone come out at a different time. The building behind it seems to have no activity going on. As you go behind, and
Which is behind? The top or the bottom?
the top would be behind because you're facing the front
Okay.
here from the colonnade.
I was
So the
picturing
front
it
is
other
the
way around.
bottom, the behind is the top.
Got it.
Calandra.
They go from side to side and from top to bottom.
Focus more on tops and bottoms, but hey, whatever works for you.
I feel like you're ignoring the sides.
Whatever they ask
Anyway.
for. I mean, if they want the
Yeah,
sides,
there
then
So what does
Maybe
the
they like-
side of the building look like? Does it have windows? Does it have doors?
On the right-hand side, no windows
Correct.
or doors.
It's just screaming fire hazard.
Is this the original
All right.
hall now? On the right-hand side?
It's like an alley.
Right, but which building has no windows and doors on the right-hand side?
The hall.
Our target building.
Okay, yeah.
I just realized
Thank
what
you.
you meant by that.
Sorry,
The
no,
target
I'm.
building.
Target building is a good way of referring to it.
Ooh, Target. They have everything in there.
Where do you keep your magical artifacts?
lots of ladies shopping for things they don't even need. So, Reed, you and guys could stop by there.
Yeah, we'll wait out on the
Go
parking
there.
lot.
Yeah. I'd rather go there than Happy Harry's or whatever. So.
So what does the back of the building look like, Paul?
Okay.
The target building in particular.
Okay.
Fitting room, Starbucks.
The back of the building, you notice the window situation is exactly the same as the front. Window wise, it's exactly the same. Door wise, where the front door is double doors, in the back it's like a giant barn sized metal door.
That looks loud.
Okay, so probably where they bring in the artifacts and whatnot.
And
Service entrance.
here in the right hand corner is a regular door. Also
So,
iron.
Paul,
Yes.
just for clarification purposes, the windows match what is in the front. So
Correct.
both sides of the left-hand side of the building have windows going up every floor, while on the
Except for the
side,
first.
So there's no window on the first floor on the left side.
On either side.
So no windows on the bottom at all.
Correct.
Okay.
Second floor and third floor are left side, and fourth floor is right side.
Fourth floor is the
Right.
entire length.
Oh, the entire length. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
And when you say it matches, when you're standing behind it, are they now on the left side facing it that way, which is like catty corner, or are they the same side as the other windows?
In other words, the back matches the front. It is not like reversed. It's the
Like
left side.
if we're the way we're looking at the map on the screen right now, there's those like sunroof looking things on the front, on the top.
Right.
So that's the left side. So the
Correct.
windows are on the second or third floor on that side,
Yes.
front and back.
Yes.
Got it.
And now the left side of the building, Paul. Are there
Nothing.
Windows or doors? Okay, so yeah, so I'm thinking maybe the back left-hand corner there. The night of our operation, we plant one of our little vine things and have it grow up alongside. So then there's potential exit from the back left-hand window on the second, third, and fourth floor, just in case. And then we'll double check when we get back, and we can look at the map. That way, we know where there's more entrances and exits and whatnot as well.
Do we have to bury the vine beans?
I'll double check with Eldred, see what he says. Looking around, Paul, is this what does the ground look around here? Are they flagstones?
Cobblestones.
Cobblestone? Are those dirt or anything right here? Or
Here and there, some of the ground has settled, and there's little bits of dirt between here and there. Not a lot, though. I mean, it's pretty much it's kind of like cemented in stones.
Gotcha. Well, we can always give it a go where I just bring a little bit of dirt with us, make a little pile, put the bean in, put some water on it, and see if, I mean, it's magic, so that might be all it needs to root into the ground. Like I said, this is just like an emergency, like, oh crap, I need to leave the building in a hurry kind of thing. So we think the one building off to the right-hand side is the one that Murph can get us in to come across.
Duh.
Paul, in the back alley,
Yes.
in the back of the building, is there anyone around? Is there like people wandering? What's the foot traffic kind of like right now?
You don't see a lot. You don't see anybody behind it at the moment.
Hey, Reed, can you take a look that corner door? Can you take a look at that? Because if we're gonna go into the basement, coming from the fourth floor all the way down might not be a great idea. Take a look at that lock and see if it's something you can handle. Is that a thing you can do?
Yeah. I kind of saunter on over.
Okay. You see a normal sized iron door, and it has a handle on it like that you can pull on, but no keyhole or lock that you see. There is just a metal plate with a square inset with a square clear kind of piece of quartz or some sort of gemstone sort of thing that's square.
Ooh, I've never seen a lock like that before. There's nobody around?
Nope.
I'll investigate. I'll poke. I'll play with it.
Okay, it's firm. There's no seams. There's no calandra.
Does it look
Jesus
like
Christ.
does it look like a button or something I can turn?
No, it actually just feels like it's just a little pointy, and there are the edges that you feel it raises up from the surface a little bit. The edges have a very keen, sharp edge to them. 4 little glass pyramids almost sticking up. But it's only like sticking up a little bit. But they look like they're quartz or glass or something like that. And they kind of, as you move around, you notice they kind of catch the light a little bit. They look like gemstones. Roll me an intelligence check, please.
Okay. My specialty.
Read the brains of the outfit.
I roll a 2.
These are very valuable gemstones, probably. You should remember that because they might, that could be your key to retirement.
Yeah,
Time
guys.
is always the answer.
Guys, those looks like there's some valuable stones on the door or something. I don't know what it is.
Oh, Murph did say there's some kind of special magic lock kind of deal here that we were going to get access
That definitely looks...
a single. Well, we were going to get access to a single copy of that or something. So just remember what that pattern looks like, and then when we get a hold of the thing, we'll see if it compares.
Okay.
And
I can always use that little creepy hand too.
Yes.
I think that'll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Save that for last resort, but
I guess we'll check out the role, like the service gate or the one that matches
the barn, the metal barn door.
Correct. Does it look like it has a similar lock on it?
No. It has no lock, and there's no handle, no nothing.
Gotcha. Access from the inside only. So we can assume we need that special thing to unlock it. So I guess we can probably head back and take a look at the map and see first floor layout for the basement team where we can go, depending upon how we access it.
Should we try getting up on the roofs of anything or not today?
Murph said he can get us on the roof of the one building, gesturing to the right-hand one, I believe. So, if he can tonight, maybe we could take a look to see. That's if he can. If not, we're going to have to wait for the night of. So
might be best not to draw attention to us either.
So, Paul,
Yes.
looking at this map, ground floor, the right-hand side. Are those staircases on the right-hand side going both up and down?
Well, you notice that there seems to be the lines seem to be both going from the outside, get bigger as they go in.
Well, we got the second floor, they're going down to that first floor. I'm just wondering, are they both coming down? Are they starting wide in the toward the middle pole and getting smaller as they go down?
Yeah.
Like steps? All right, so they might just be going up and down in there. They can't... Oh, so the stairs to the basement are on the far side. On the left side. That's what that's saying on the
Yep.
handwriting?
That's what that...
Okay.
It's bad handwriting, but yes.
It's fine. I'm just trying to get it. All right. So, Reed, if we come in through that back door, we would have to go down the back hallway and receiving. Are there any doors into that office? Like, I see the door from receiving down to the lobby.
Yeah, it doesn't
but
look
there doesn't
like it
seem to
shows it on the
be.
map.
Well, there's no doors at all to those offices.
Which you know is odd.
Maybe he forgot to put it on the map.
Yeah, but how does he know the stairs to the basement are in there if
Right.
there's no doors and there's no access?
There probably
Reed,
is
do you
a
have
door.
Reed, do you have a hole making device? Some magic crap that I'm
The
thinking of that you
charcoal
have?
nub.
Ah, yes.
Charcoal. The charcoal does. I could draw like a doorway thing, right?
Okay. Well, if worse comes to worse, we can use that. Oh, we can
Yeah.
use that just to get to the building.
Ah,
Too bad it's only a nub and not a full piece of charcoal and just
Stand on the
Just
roof
cut-
and draw a circle
cut
around
holes.
myself. Ah!
fall down, crush a guard, cut another hole, fall down, crush another guard.
It sounds like a plan. You make us silent, and we just draw a
Yeah.
circle on the
Yes.
ceiling and drop it.
Freak accident today at the Hall of Antiquities. No one heard a thing, but the roof collapsed in a circular manner on every guard in the building.
Funny how the
Weaponized
rounds were
charcoal.
set up so they all stand in a corner in the exact same corner all at one time.
Local guards are perplexed. It has something to do with the Mudlarks. Or that dude
We
we're
have to
about
listen. We definitely have to listen to the town crier after that one.
Although that would be applicable if it was the left hand lower corner.
All right, so who is the fourth floor team? Is going to be Nikita with a green brother and probably Eldred, maybe Butt Trumpet, depending upon who's available. Because Calandra could be on third floor team with Viv or Nikita. Would you prefer Calandra with you?
yep. Missed
Yola?
it. Sorry.
All right.
Switching it out with somebody or
Well, I'm just trying to make sure every floor has a magic user. I'm just thinking Eldred and Butt Trumpet might be quieter than Calandra. I don't.
It's
I'm
fair.
fine with taking Kalandra. I'll be happy to.
That's
We can
fine.
munch
I
on the
just.
spiders that we have together.
Ugh.
I still have those.
yes.
We have snacks.
Yes. Bugs are delicious forms of
hopefully they're
nutrition
not
that
too
I
crunchy
will.
and the guards don't hear you.
Right.
Also,
of
I hear
course.
they get like stale and chewy and soft after a while if you don't eat them right away.
Well, they're only like a day old, not even.
Yeah,
yet.
they're not that old at this point. They're not too bad.
No, darn. I was gonna say you probably have to throw them out then.
No, just a day? No, come on.
No.
I'm sure I
You
sure
should
I
try
saved some
them. They're very
breakfast
good.
Some
or
breakfast
lunch,
spiders?
whatever that
What?
was.
I believe that I've heard rumor that Reed saves food far longer than that.
Oh, I've saved it
Yes,
from.
and I advise
long
him
time.
on the regular to not do that. He has, to be quite
I mean-
honest, I don't know how he hasn't died of dysentery.
Probably because I don't even know what that is.
Goddamn.
So anyway, the
Goddamn
Hey.
trail.
Reed's
Halfling
philosophy:
food.
if I can't spell it, it doesn't count.
it doesn't hurt me.
It's not real.
It's a great philosophy. You should come to the temple sometime.
Okay, I want to see the buffet. The
Oh, boy.
one time Eldred,
buffet.
I don't think there was a buffet there, but
We can sort
at least
something out.
not
for Reed.
food related.
It'll be fun. It's gonna be hilarious.
I totally thought Gaius was at a buffet, so it's all good.
Oh, there was a buffet. There was a lot on offer.
One time Eldred hid bacon in his pack for days, and this bunny found it in the forest. That was right when we went to
Buddy,
see.
okay?
I don't know. The bunny was the bunny. It wasn't my bunny. It was a
Oh.
different bunny, and it was trying to. I think it was trying to lure me away from the group. I was on watch. It was when we were going to see the witch in the woods.
You didn't follow it to the pond where it would have given you a magic sword to like kill the evil magic user immediately or anything.
You think that's what the bunny was gonna do?
Did it offer that?
I mean, it could have.
No,
Oh,
it,
you
it
missed
somehow
out.
found bacon in Eldred's pack. I don't know what was going on there.
The bunny could have
And
been
then the
putting it
witch,
there.
the
We
witch
need this
offered me a
bunny when he's
bag.
on this heist.
Yeah, really. The witch offered me a bag with endless bacon. I was strong though. I said no. I kind of wish I had it now.
You wish
Anyway.
you sold your soul for magic bacon?
But it's endless
Well,
bacon, right? Like forever bacon? Perpetual bacon?
I don't know
If
how
you
it would have
always have
worked,
bacon?
but yeah, it was just a bag with lots of bacon forever in it. I don't know what. I didn't want to do it because I was
Man,
worried I'd
it's way
like
better than the little
lose my
baggies we
soul
have
or
at the
something.
temple.
I just
Anyway,
imagine,
I can take
magically
Calandra.
there's
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm
being
fine to
tortured.
go with. I'm fine to go with Viv, or if Nikita needs me, I'm happy to go wherever.
I'm
They're
expecting-
both lovely,
Okay.
so it'll be great company either way.
Okay.
I'm not expecting
so,
much trouble on the 4th floor.
well, they said there were Roman guards of one
Hmm.
form or another. Just remember,
'Cause the
Oh,
when
fourth
we hit
floor
them,
is- yeah.
we hit them non-lethally.
Duh.
Okay.
Third floor is because third floor is research and development. That's one of the
Yes.
potential. That's where we're definitely interested in. So
I think that's where Murph said it was originally sighted, was on
Right.
the 3rd floor. So,
yeah,
you all good? All right, so we have Landra and Viv and a brother on the 3rd floor. You got Nikita, Butt Trumpet, and Eldred, and a brother on the 4th floor. And they can all the magics. So, if we're looking at this map as well, in the top, so on the 4th floor, in the curator's office, that back window will be where we have a potential vine escape route for the 4th floor team. The back of the library for the 3rd floor team. Basement team is just not going to have that option. If worse comes to worse,
We know
I just
nothing
assume
of
we
that.
blow our way, just using explosives or something to get out.
You could have one of the teleporting eggs.
Now, but that'll just teleport one person though. There will be
No.
at least 3 of them.
It's a group.
No, oh, it's a group teleport. Okay.
Duh.
Yes, we should definitely,
Hold
and then
hands
each, and hope. So that's great. We have 3 of those. So each team gets an egg for
Yeah.
oh shit purposes. Is this one of those things where we gotta like think about where we want to end up
Duh.
teleport wise? So
Duh.
okay.
Let's-
So where do we all want to teleport to if we
Stone's
need
Throw.
to? Stone's throw.
I
Duh.
think
The buffet.
Stone's Throw.
We could go to the buffet.
Okay. Whoever's
think we
with
should
Reed,
teleport
yeah,
to
guys,
the
y'all are going to the buffet. Reed is going to take y'all to the buffet.
Yes.
Watching my weight. Anyway,
Love yourself as you are.
I do, but
Or if
Don't-
not, there are condiments nearby.
I was going to say, well, love yourself how you are, but also, if there's always room for improvement, I am in the constant
That's
need
fair.
to run away and toward things, so having better
That
calisthenics
is fair.
and
The cardio is important.
cardio is key. Rule number 1. Okay, so we got the teams kind of broken up. We've got the magical Gugas kind of assigned to which ones. All of our heavily armored team members now have lighter armor, so we're not complete shit at stealth. I guess we can wait for the brothers Green and Murph to show up. And
Duh. See
get
what
on
their
with the
impressions
next
are, and
planning.
then
Yeah, see if they have
Yep.
any kind of input.
So are we going? The plan is when are we planning to do this?
Not
Saturday?
tonight.
Saturday.
It's tomorrow night. It's Friday going into Friday night now. We're doing it Saturday night. Because Sunday morning is the execution. Right, Paul? Am I
Right.
getting that order correct?
Yes. This week of Grognard and Friends brought to you by Grognard and Friends Weather Channel. Tune in next week for the swarm of locusts.
Yeah.
That's just
Swarm of
cicadas.
locusts. Coming to Kansas.
Just cicadas.
Partly cloudy, 62 degrees.
Uh,
There it is. That's the weather.
No, not
I-
60 degrees.
85 degrees right now, today.
You're the next
Was that
contestant on This Is Your Temperature. The DM's temperature
hot.
is rising as these conversations keep going.
Okay, so
Well,
Are we
Paul,
going back to the
we're
stone's
done
throw?
planning. Let's wait
we go
for
back
the
to the stone's
NPCs to show up.
Okay.
Stone's throw,
Do
shall
we
we?
want to? I have a general question. Do we want to see if we can get into this building during the day to get the look around? I know Murph said you need an appointment, but if we can find out if we can get an appointment, or I mean, we've been into the Scheherazade, the house.
The Stradivarnius house?
Stradivarnius house, and that is part of history and antiquities. Maybe we could talk to them about getting stuff for them.
I would love to take a look inside. I just am
Yeah.
hesitant to show our faces around
Right.
because
Right.
if we go in there asking questions and then the next day a bunch of shit or just one very important thing disappears, it doesn't take a sharp mind to wonder who the culprits might be, potentially.
One very important
So-
piece of shit.
Yes. So, Paul, I guess from like we can see into the lobby and everything, right?
Yes.
From the front door.
So you are still there. You have not left the colonnade yet.
Well, I was so while we were walking around, Gaius was basically trying to get a look into all the windows as best he could, surreptitiously.
Okay. There are no windows on the first floor.
Just the doors, but they have glass at them, right? So you could see through. That's what you said?
Correct. And there is a guard standing in front of the doors.
Mm-hmm.
Without saying anything really awkwardly, just walk up next to the guard and just look in the window, but don't say anything to the guard.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
fine.
hard no. No, not
No.
that. No. But basically, guys is gonna try to like look in through each window and like if he could probably see like the other shutters, curtains, or anything. You just see like the roof of the build, like when looking through the window of. Basically, if I can get through it and I see the location, I could potentially cast clairvoyance just inside the window, and then be able to see. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just giving myself that option to potentially be able to spy on certain floors if I need to.
Okay, so how close do you want to get to the building?
Right next to the guard. Right next to the guard.
Not super close. Like I said, he's got decent eyesight, so he's kind of like doing the glance in and looking into the windows. It's a clear
Give me
day, right? There's
like
nothing-
a range of feet.
Halfling feeder guys. Yeah.
30, 40
30 feet away from the guard?
It's kind of like, like walking by, just turn and look.
Okay. So kind of where the tokens are on the actual map anyway.
Yeah, nothing suspicious
Okay.
about it.
You look past the guard and there appears to be a small room, rectangle room behind the door with black and white checkered marble floors. And there are a couple of guards in there. There's a door directly across from it. That's probably 10, 20, 30 feet across from the front door. And on either side are tables and cabinets. And also, it looks like you have to go through this roped off area to the other door. And the two other guards that you see are on either side of the opposite door.
And then just, I guess, while we were making the circuit of the building originally, Paul, I'll just say, like, Gaius it took a moment to glance in each window at, just to get Like if you wanted to cast clairvoyance, it would pop up by the window.
Okay, the first floor you can see in. The upper floors, the way the glare is, you don't seem to be able to see in really.
Okay. But I can see the windows, so if at nighttime I cast it outside of the window looking in, it could be used as like to look through the windows at that height.
You
That's
hope
all
so.
I'm
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I'm just keeping options open for myself with
No problem.
the tools I've got. All right. So yeah, once so now I got that squared away, then yes, it's the stone's throw down to talk with the brothers Green and Murph.
You get back just a little bit before what would be considered dinner time. Butterbeer's there, and you get there. Is there anything else anyone wants to do or discuss before anybody else arrives?
Has anybody figured out what that code was?
No.
To be quite honest, I was busy planning heisting.
So many sheets of paper. And no.
I know. I tried so hard, but I don't know where to go from here.
Like, I don't think I passed the
I think there's something about the specific words and how they are broken up, but I can't figure out. There's execution, apport, unity, and then will. It's only 4 letters, but the second L is on the next line. That is very odd. I think there's a clue there, but 6 intelligence, so I'm leaving it up to you.
I'm apparently the wrong kind of smart. I have the wrong kind of intelligence. I know making drinks, not figuring this out. Maybe I'm too sober.
This isn't some sort of like thiefy code that I might know about, that Reed might know about, that maybe I'm too dumb.
You know what? We'll give me I'm going to say investigation check, but because you're thinking about thiefy history and knowledge, do it with advantage.
Come on, dice, don't fail me now. I'm at 20. Oh, which is equal to a 21.
Okay. You're not sure what your friends are talking about. They seem to be talking way over your head with these other codes and everything. While
in real life.
Yeah. Most of the time, you're used to things being passed in Thieves' Cant and everything, although the written Thieves' Cant is kind of a hullabaloo of different symbols and such. It has on occasion used this simple replacement cipher. And even you know that it's very basic. But the only other thing that you notice that might not be taken into account is how you separate sentences. And
is it something like maybe they're just supposed to be in a different order?
No,
or perhaps the wraparound thing that we were talking about is something I'm missing.
It's the fact that sentences and words utilize the same separation. It's usually some sort of consistent mark. In this particular case, it would be the asterisk. Keep in mind that asterisks not only separate words, they separate sentences as well. Okay. I'm trying to give you everything possible with a 20 that without spelling it right out for you.
Are we back at the stones though?
Yes.
Did we get back there and everything? Okay. Well, Reed will kind of be thinking out loud and saying this so that everybody kind of knows what he just heard from you, kind of, So,
what he discovered.
So this little, the whole thing about the asterisks and separating words and sentences. So.
And that the problem with that sometimes there's a separation between sentences that upon first look you don't necessarily catch, because sometimes you don't realize it's 2 separate comments. or sentences.
Like, for example, like I said, in the beats of the code, you have the first two, and then there's a spacing. And then there's the second two, and then there's a spacing. And then there's another two and a spacing, another two and a spacing. And then the last four are all singles. Almost like you could take 13 and put it between 21 and 20. So it would be Brother Edward's execution is the one.
Reed, also you when looking at these ciphers, you have to keep in mind what sort of communication is it? Is it a document? Is it a recipe? Is it a list? Is it a letter? Is it a quote? Is it something from some bit of information from a text?
There's no asterisk after the word two.
My halfling brain's gonna explode. Yay.
It just goes too late. There's no asterisk between it.
Also, it looks like 12, 16, and 15 have red underlines in them for some reason.
Oh, that does not exist. Just ignore that.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's because that's a spell check thing with doubles.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Phew.
Pay no attention to that. That would have been brilliant. I think
Yeah,
that's
but say, I
awesome.
would've-
But I'm not going to. That wouldn't be
pretend
fair.
those don't exist then.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would not be fair.
Those red lines are red herrings.
Exactly. It's all about the fish.
It's fish.
And we're back to food. We're back to food.
All right,
We'll say-
so Brothers Green and Murph, I guess, are going to be here instead of all of us like staring.
Right.
down at
We'll some time goes by as you're discussing this, and Murph comes in, sits at the bar. Butterbeer starts pulling him a ale and pouring him another glass of something. Looks
We're all
over,
staring
sees you.
daggers into his back. We're all
What?
just staring at him. When he turns around, we're all just staring at him.
Hey, Murph looking sharp as ever.
Thank you. I try. You notice it's a different vest and a slightly off-white shirt this time around. The vest is still black. You just notice the tailoring's a little different.
Fabulous vest tonight, Murph.
Thank you. It's Friday after all.
That it is.
Oh. Are we supposed to wear different clothes on Friday?
Not that I know of.
Usually. Some
Okay.
change clothes. Even
I am
even
going to
multiple
suggest
times a
in
week.
a low voice. Since we are trusting Murph, do we want to show him this numbers message and see if he knows anything about it?
I mean, it can't hurt.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, me
We just
Butterbeer
happen
trusts
to
him.
find it
Yeah.
under the table with the goblins and weird shit like that. If he's really tied into the underground, he might know what they're talking about, especially with the cookout.
What is this code for? Please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mouth-watering goodness.
Probably not the kind you're thinking, Reed. Let's settle down.
Okay. I grabbed the note, and is one of you like physically been writing all this out on the table?
Perhaps Viv.
Yes.
Viv?
Yeah.
Okay. Viv, can I borrow that?
Sure.
No, it's actually on the table. She's been writing it on
It's
the
on the
table
table.
itself.
On the top. Butterbeer's gonna be so
Take a
pissed.
rubbing.
Right?
So I grab both of those and I kind of go over to the bar. Hey Murph.
Hey there, my friend.
So does this look like anything? And I spread it out in front of him on the bar real quick.
You know it is, he says.
Well,
What you
the,
having a
like,
problem with?
What's the hidden message? I'm not getting something.
Well, it's a simple replacement cipher from the looks of it, unless they've added a few things. Have you worked on it at all?
Show
see
him the
what-
one with the writing.
Okay, so
Yes.
you have worked that out, he says.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the
It's weird
problem?
looking, right? It's weird looking, that right?
What's weird about it?
The way the sentences are broken up, sometimes words in the middle.
Ah, okay. Secret codes and ciphers are really great. But you have to look at what is a sentence and what might be a sentence. Because sometimes things that you think are actually a sentence might be two sentences, or it might be a separate exclamation, or it might be a signature, or things like that. So you have to take into consideration and you have to think outside the box and make sure that everything you think is a sentence is actually a single sentence instead of more than one, or in the very same case, it might be you think it's two separate sentences, but it might be one big sentence. Or something you might think is part of a sentence, but it's not, it's just the, love mom.
I just turn around and look at everybody else. I think I need a drink.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Do you have any idea who this was meant for or who it's from? That
So
sometimes will help.
We found it at the gambling hall where the Brothers Green were. We found it underneath in a hidden spot under a chair.
Okay. Was it a
Under
public
the
place?
dwarves, right? It was one of the dwarves, one of the many.
Yeah, it's where the
Any
dwarves were
dwarves?
sitting. Yeah, there were dwarves playing against the brothers, and it was at their table. In that, there was a guard on the door. It wasn't like a public room.
Right.
It's like a gambling room.
The crowbar, I said, right?
Yep,
Uh,
at the crowbar. yep.
Okay, so the gambling rooms are public often, but they're private. They can be private as well. They're open. They open up in the evenings, and depending on the amount of clientele or the quality of clientele, they can go into late mornings, sometimes into the afternoon. That doesn't always mean it's the same people all night long. So you said that, and if this was hidden away, well, let me ask you: do these dwarves look like the type who are smart enough to leave coded messages?
Oh God.
I
don't
do
think
not
so.
believe so.
Yeah.
Maybe it was left there before they got there, and it's meant to be picked up. It was meant to be picked up sometime afterward. And what time
Who
of
are the
day did you
normal-
find it?
Night.
Early?
Early. No, it was early.
Early.
That was this
Oh.
morning, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. My bet would be that it probably wasn't meant to be picked up this morning, because that sort of thing usually happens if it's been hidden away in a gambling establishment. Usually at the normal times of the gambling establishment is where it's going to be expected to be picked up.
So we might have messed up somebody's note. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Probably if you took it, yeah.
I mean, finders keepers, right? So
Read. Did it again.
I mean, it's still dinner time. Gambling stuff doesn't get, taken care of until it doesn't really open until a little later. I mean, if you want to go back and put it back, you could or not.
Nah. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't know. Just
Hey, I'm just
I-
spitballing here.
I look
What
at guys.
about
That's not a good idea, right?
No.
What about
Wouldn't
the
recommend that.
envelope with the name or word Therich on it and half an asterisk? Does that look like a K or?
Let me take a look at that. Well, it's kind of weird the way it's set up in that block lettering like that.
Nah.
It's like somebody's title, right? Like the rich.
Wait, have I been missing a whole other part of this code? Was there a frickin' front to the letter with a very specific pattern and a half an asterisk on it?
No, he described it. He didn't.
This is. Oh, okay. You didn't
Yeah.
send that, did? Oh, okay.
No.
I was just like, wait, if the Chris the player have been missing a very obvious piece of this puzzle.
He says, just looking at it, it kind of, I mean, it's long and narrow print block lettering. Looks like it's meant to create a long rectangle. And I mean, to just spitball, that end looks like possibly what might be a fuse.
We're back to the explosions again.
I mean, doesn't that look like a stick of explosives to you?
Does it?
Does to me, but you know, who am I?
You are Murph, and you are very helpful. So this is why we are asking you.
Well, it looks like you did the hardest part by cracking the code, even though it's a simple replacement. A lot of people either make things way too difficult when they're doing these things, or
Sounds
they
like
just
us.
have no knowledge of where to go with it. What was that,
Sounds
Chris?
like us. I said that sounds like us. That also sounds like us.
So we met the brothers Green.
How'd that go?
Had to chase
And-
them down first.
Well,
Chase
had
them?
to-
What, you scare them away?
No, they were caught cheating by a large group of Ironbeard dwarves.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
They got away, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
we had
helped
to do
with
some
that.
distracting.
You're already working together. That's good.
Yeah, they actually came back here with Viv.
Yeah, they should be arriving in the near future. They were heading back to their place to rest for a bit.
Yeah, that's the problem with this sort of work.
Yeah, nighttime stuff. Sleep cycle. I hate it, to be quite honest. A nice regular schedule would be awesome. Oh.
Yeah, so I've been told. It's kept me single for years.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, okay.
Hey,
Somebody was going
I like to
say it.
fool myself. What can I say? I see in the mirror. I know what I'm dealing with. Hey, when you have a face that has more lines than a street in detritus, you know what you're dealing with.
I haven't had the pleasure of being there.
Consider yourself lucky and blessed.
I do, in fact, by God.
You know, they talk about the about hell being a place.
Mm.
There are those that say that was fashioned after parts of detritus.
Ah, I heard that hell are people, but you know.
Oh, I've heard that too, and I can't disagree.
Yeah.
But once you've gotten a look at Cragshat, it's kind of
just the
tough
name.
to what?
Just the name.
Oh, it's a big wizard prison down in outside detritus. Scary place.
Shit. I imagine so. Yeah.
Detritus is a
Anyway.
scary place, but you know,
Yeah, I knew a guy from there.
I haven't seen anyone come from there who wasn't scarred on the inside, outside, or both.
Oh, he definitely had some on the outside. I can tell you that much. Probably on the inside too.
Especially if you ate the hot sauce.
Oh, you're familiar with that, are you? I've had that too.
I have some experience.
Passingly
with
familiar, yeah.
just
Yeah,
trying
they
to
have quite a
strip
few of them down there, and damn.
the death sauce. It was the death sauce.
Oh, that was the light one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great,
It's
actually.
right on through you.
Put it on some oysters. It was
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
Nice is one way to not describe it, but sure.
Some of us didn't handle it as well as others, but that's okay.
It hurt the
Right
insides.
from behind you at the door, you hear, Murph, hey! And you go, oh, guess who arrived?
Oh, the brothers
And
are
they're here.
here.
Yes.
We're back! How you doing? Bumblebee, another round, please.
Oh.
All right. How about we exchange notes on checking out the building?
Okay.
The Target building. I don't know if that was a good translation. My accent, I am working on it for you.
I thought it was crystal clear. Like mountain spring water. Well, it looks like there's 4 separate ways to get in. 3 of which are viable. Another 3 which, 2 of the 3 would require some sort of key or some way to get past the locks.
Which we might have, depending on Murph, with the, was it a necklace or something?
Necklace.
Murph goes, yeah, I got you covered there. It's one of the pass keys is gem based. It'll get you between floors and in the basic common doorways inside the building.
Might
Does it
also work
access
on
the-
that back. Same
No,
thought.
you were saying the exact same. Yep, same thought. You go ahead, Nikki.
The back right door looked like it might also accept it to get in.
That's possible, but my sources who I'm going to be getting it from, and I can verify with them when I get it. But they specifically said doors inside the building between floors and common areas. They also mentioned there's another gem-based pass key that the guards will have that'll have access to everything practically. So
We might have to do some sticky fingers.
yeah, if you need that.
I could try and get one of those.
Or just bop him in the back of the head until unconscious. You know.
See, I
So
have trouble
we
reaching
see-
their head. That's why I generally just kind of stick them with a knife. But never mind.
Well, you know.
Which leads us to the next question, Murph. Was that a firm rule on no harming the guards? Or was
Oh,
that
hell
a
no.
suggestion?
It was a suggestion.
Okay. We were playing it safe. Just
Yeah,
check.
no, get the job done. I don't want you putting yourself in danger needlessly. You know, if need be and you gotta do away with something, fine. But because basically the idea is if you can get in and out real quick, get the target, get out without disturbing anything or without hurting anybody or drawing attention. Like I said, my source says they're not sure that people in the building even know that the target's in the building.
Right.
So you might be able to get out and no one will be the wiser. But if things change and you have to do something, protect yourself.
Okay.
Do what you have to do to
Yes.
get the target out of there. But it was just a suggestion. If you can get in and get out real quick without doing any harm or drawing any attention to anything, that you'll be golden.
I like gold.
Yeah, us too. Yeah,
Okay,
you
I-
can say that again, says the other one. Meanwhile, Scabies is just nodding.
Strong silent type.
Did you mention how we were gonna possibly split up? And see what everybody thinks about that.
Not yet, no.
We were thinking about we were thinking about like splitting up with one of our expert guides of the 3 brothers here with
They all kind of get
Someone
proud
else.
and kind of sit up straighter.
Aw.
Big smile on their face.
like me and one of them and maybe we have a very small friend who will probably be coming like maybe going for the basement and then or wait was it Gaius? I'm confused.
It was
Who's going where?
Gaius. Yeah, you,
Was
you
it Gaius?
Gaius, and one of the brothers to the basement.
Oh, big
and
guy.
then Me,
Big guy coming with us then. Yep.
big, and then what? Eldred,
Light on my
Nikita, Butt Trumpet, and one of the brothers on the 4th floor,
Duh.
and then me, Viv, and a goblin on the 3rd floor.
Victory.
Third
you
floor's
say-
the winner, it sounds like.
Yep. You've made the
As long as-
correct decisions. You've
I just hope
unlocked the
this
master
isn't our
sword.
Final Fantasy.
Does that sound like a
How'd you
good
know what they
plan?
call last call at the? Never mind.
Last call to Stone's Throw. Get your drinks.
Last call at the temple. Final.
Oh.
Mm,
Do you need to
I
go,
was
Viv?
thinking, I should go soon, but I was going to ask a question real quick. I just can't seem to find where I wrote it down. Gristle. Do you think that Kalandra and I should take Gristle? Because I don't really have too much experience with lockpicking ever, really.
Ah,
Rictus
that could
says,
work.
I think that sounds like a wonderful idea.
And then we will take scabies on the 4th floor. And I have forgotten the third name.
Rictus.
Rictus.
Rictus can go with Reed and Gaius on the 1st floor.
Rictus is the one who seems to have been doing most of the talking
Right.
since you've met him. He's the one with the mohawk. Gristle, who's spoken a little bit but not much, says, So, who's gonna be on lookout and watch our backs as we go in?
we got Eldred. Eldred could do that, fulfill that as a role.
So
think,
could
'cause
I.
We have. Well, we got 3 people per floor basically, because we have with one to spare. So it could be you, but then it would be Butt Trumpet, one of the brothers, and Eldred on the 4th floor instead. How perceptive are you again?
Not
Cheryl? I
very.
forget. Is Eldred perceptive? I can't honestly. I honestly don't know. That might be a coin toss there between those two.
I'm pretty perceptive,
Ah,
but I'm also very sneaky. So I think my skills would be
right.
better
No, we
used
need
there.
you on the
skills are good.
inside, I would.
So I would say Eldred probably for the lookout, because then he also has magical options to maybe alert or distract with, perhaps, as
or
well. Remove, however we want to phrase.
Okay, so Rictus goes, okay, so it looks like you've done a lot of planning here. You've got teams set up for different floors and everything. What about the getaway?
We run.
We have. Go ahead.
Just take a wee run. But you probably have a better thing. Go ahead.
We have in our possession magical eggs. And
The goblins
each
all
team
do
will-
look at you and just kind of wide-eyed. Like, huh?
Very easy. You group everybody. Each team will get 1 egg. Group everybody together. Smash. Whoever has the egg smashes it and thinks of basically here, the stone's throw. And it should teleport you back here. If it doesn't, then yeah, probably need a backup.
Wow. That's some expensive stuff you're utilizing here.
We
Yeah,
are
we
hoping
got it
this
for
is
free.
worth it. I don't know that free is the correct term. We bled for it.
Yeah.
Well, on the open market, that teleportation shit, that doesn't come cheaply. Just saying. But no, I'm happy to use it, believe me.
I think it is the easiest, but there's a possibility of a beanstalk outside the window, or
Once
just
again.
flinging your
We got
Or just
magic,
flinging yourself
people.
up. We have magic. Hopefully, it will work out.
Also, we're going to use the execution as cover to slip away, because that'll be big distracting and happening at the end. Yeah, we got options.
Mhm.
It
Sunday
really depends
morning,
on when we've. Yeah, it really depends on when we acquire the item, and the moment.
Duh.
But like I said, for the third and fourth floor crews, they're going to have multiple exits. That their original entrance and a vine to climb down. It's the basement crew that's going
Basement.
to be the most improvisational. For all that I know, there's a basement exit or something into the sewer that we can then sneak through there. The sewer pipes are larger than I thought they were in this town, and I wish I didn't
we
know
could-
that.
We could look for that when we're in the basement and maybe not have to use up our eggs.
Duh.
Yes. So we have an emergency magical way to leave.
Gristle says, as professionals, I appreciate you willing to sacrifice these valuable tools for just such an occasion. What I would suggest, though, is that you hold on to them for emergencies. It is rare that you get such a diversion of attention, such as a public execution. And you might be able to just saunter out of there, unbeknownst to anybody, and not have to utilize such a valuable commodity.
That
I
would
don't
be
disagree.
ideal.
So just saying,
But we're just
something
having
to
the
consider.
option.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey,
my
shit
idea
hits the
would be
fan.
to
Those things are going to come in handy, but, you know.
prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Prepare
We,
for the best. Be pretty sure that somewhere the worst is going to show its head at one point or another.
Speaking of which, we heard there were going to be many stars from the Overlook, famous people from the palace or some shit at the execution.
Murph
Would
rolls
they
his eyes and
possibly-
goes, the nobles think a lot of themselves around here.
No, of course, but the concern is the explosions that had been happening taking out nobles.
Oh.
Does this make this our possible distraction a complete clusterfuck if someone targets it for a cookout? And I kind of look at Murph funny, but I don't tell the goblins.
Murph goes, that
I mean,
could
that would be very
actually,
distracting.
work to your benefit, because I believe they're building bleachers for the nobles and the special guests, as it were,
We saw them.
behind and on either side of the gallows. And the gallows are going to be situated across the colonnade from you, which is
Okay.
probably a good 300 feet away. Or is it yards? It's a long fucking distance across that colonnade. That could actually, if someone decides to do that shit, I mean, that place is going to be locked down with high security over there. But if someone wants to pull that shit off, hey, you can't ask for a better distraction than that.
Again, ideally, I am just. We have gotten into trouble before by attempting to help after an explosion. So,
Oh, I would not seek to help anyone after that if that happens. I would just, how do they say, get the fuck out of there? Take the target and head for
Get the fuck
the
out.
hills, or the stone's throw in this particular case.
That
Answer that?
I think so. Do we want the teams all to enter in the same place, or maybe third and fourth floor teams enter from the roof and basement team enters from that back door or something? First
The problem
floor?
is we don't have the ability to open that door.
Right,
Probably.
right.
Murph, do we know if you need the keys to exit the building as well from those doors? Are they locked on both ends, or is it like you can leave?
He goes, I don't know, but I'll ask when I get the key.
Okay, yeah. Ask to see, and you're certain
Ask
that key
if
won't
that
access.
that bottom door, if you can,
Yeah, like
the
that.
key will allow you in as well as out.
Correct. And also if you need keys to exit the building, like if it.
Well,
like
that's
the
what I mean by
magic.
that door.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. So confirm that for us, I guess.
Rictus goes, Murph, I got a question for you. We're talking about the doors and everything. Our new best friends here mentioned something about access to a building to help us get on the roof.
Nah.
Murph says, oh, yeah, I can do that. There's a building that is used as rooming for guests of the government offices and such. There's a building right behind it. They used to have a cafe on the bottom floor and have apartments above it. Ever since the sickness started causing all sorts of issues, that whole building's been empty. I
Is that the
happen
one
to
with the
have
plants on top?
no, the one behind it.
Behind that.
No.
I happen to have been able to get a hold of the keys to the first floor of that building. And if I'm not mistaken, it's like right on the level with the roof there.
Duh. That is what we saw today.
Any further thoughts for you guys? He starts finishing up his drinks.
So we wait for you, Murph, to come back with the guard with the key and the information.
You
tomorrow,
tell me
and then
when
we
you
go.
want me to be here, and
Okay.
I will do my darndest to be here at that time. But like I said, I need, as soon as you're done, I need to get that key back to them. So when you
Look,
hand
do you
off
know
the
how many
target,
guards-
you'll hand off the key as well, and I'll take care of that.
Murph, do you know how many guards are in there at night?
I asked that. They're not sure, but there's regular patrols, and during the day there's a different number of guards than there is from night. They said that, and they said depending on what's going on in the city, sometimes those numbers change, which I take as because of this execution, they may up the number of guards a little bit. They say it's never usually a huge drastic change, but there is a change sometimes for certain things going on in the city or threats or whatever.
So so the key that we're getting is going to most likely only be able to work on interior doors. We have no more information on the
They
basement,
said
correct?
common areas and between floors.
But not for the doors, interior doors potentially. Okay.
Well, not to the private doors.
Yeah, to like the curator's office.
Yeah, I think that's probably the one that you can pretty much guarantee it's not going to work on.
Okay. So we're only going to have one magic key
Yeah.
to get us between the floors. So we might all have to go through the roof together. Leave Team
Gristle
4
says-
behind.
Can I
Yes.
spitball something here?
The
Spit away.
bullets.
What if the person with the key kind of drops people off at each floor as they go down? The person with the key would be someone going to the basement.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I agree, Gristle. That's kind of what I was thinking about. 4th floor, we get dropped off first. 3rd floor, and then basement team goes the rest of the way down with the key. And then I'm trying to think. Calandra, do you know how to do sending? Mind message stuff.
I don't.
Okay.
Gaius does,
So
and Reed.
I
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, we give Reed's brooch to either Team 3 or Team 4. Because if you guys find the target on the 4th or 3rd floor, we need to know so we can come back up and scrap our part of the mission.
Yeah.
Murph, do you know if the windows, are those easily opened Have you heard anything about those?
I don't think they are. They look sealed. Because
Okay,
there's
so
no from the outside. I took a look at the building last night while I was doing my job, one of my jobs. There doesn't seem to be any way to open them. I saw from the outside. They look like just to let light in and stuff like that
Okay.
there.
So I'm thinking we'll double check with Butt Trumpet and Eldred when they get back. See if they have any way of communicating. If we need to, we can give Reed's brooch to team 3 or 4. And I'm assuming you guys could potentially like talk through the doors between levels to send a message in case you find the item on your floor
Yeah.
to contact us down in the basement. And of course, if I find it, I can contact you, let you know, don't worry about searching anymore. We have it, and maybe like consolidate on the roof or whatever. Or just be prepared to leave, that kind of thing. Also, we could end up ambushing some guards and getting more keys for places as well. So at that point, that'll change the dynamic.
Gristle says, just be aware that if gods don't check in, you
Yes.
might not check out.
Understood. It's
okay.
more of just like, if we get, caught unawares and we have to, knock them out, we just do our best to,
Oh, I'm totally with you.
exploit the- Yeah. So, all right. I think we're all on the same page here. I'll need to hit the books and consult the higher powers and reorganize my spells to a more shady nature
Mm.
instead of the old destroy. And heal.
Kalander, do you have the silent spell too, like Gaius does?
Which one?
The one that makes it all
Silence?
quiet.
Bubble of silence or something?
I think I could.
Mm.
Might be handy just to.
I will have
yes.
to. Again.
You have second level spells.
If only Eldred would have a spell like that, it would be so helpful.
We will
Just
work
saying.
it out.
If only. If only. Somehow.
Then each team would have one. I mean,
It would work out so perfectly.
Rictus says, quiet's a good thing,
Yeah.
especially
No,
in work
definitely.
like this or marriage.
This is the second marriage comment today. I'm going to.
I
need another
overheard the
drink.
dwarves when they were arguing with you. I heard you say something in response, so I just thought it might make sure everyone was paying attention.
Too kind?
Is that what that was? Didn't feel kind, but okay.
Is it a dwarf thing? Is that
I can't speak on dwarf marriages. I've never married a dwarf, says Rictus.
How many times have you been married, Rictus?
oh shit?
And Gristle goes, you can't count her. No one said there was a time limit. Oh, okay.
Is that like a Vegas thing?
yeah,
Sounded like
Goblin
a
Goblin Elvis has been.
7, maybe 9. It depends.
So, wow,
Mm.
impressive.
Expensive.
Potentially 9 times. There were 9 lovely ladies
Mrs.
who
Gristles.
willingly.
Rictus.
Oh, Gristle.
Mrs. Rictus.
Rictus.
willingly.
Willingly.
Well, no need to get into messy details.
Yeah.
But, So, just asking, is there anything else you need of us tonight before we get to work? And do we meet up again? Of course, we're meeting up again tomorrow night, but what time do you want us all to meet up?
Well, we want to. obviously start this at night, so probably around dinner. Like we did tonight, actually. Right after dinner. When does the sun set? Right around now, Paul. Is it like at dinner time, before, after?
Six-ish.
Yeah. So yeah, let's meet up here, probably right around when the sun is setting, and that'll give us the whole night to potentially do what we need to do.
Gristle
Meet up
says,
here?
"Go on,
Go
go
ahead.
on, Nikita. After you."
I was going to meet up here at the target building.
I would say here first.
That's that's 10 people. That's a huge friggin' group.
Well, we don't
Well,
all have to travel together there. I'm just saying we meet up because
We
we're
can
going
travel
to
in
meet
a
the
single
team.
file line through the streets like ants. Walking.
Or break up into groups of 3, like the teams we're going to be in, and travel.
Rick goes, yeah. While we're at it, why don't we get like T-shirts that all match?
So they would have to be black for like stealth.
Right.
Yeah, so I would say meet here, and then we could in smaller groups travel over toward the target building, or we could meet somewhere near the colonnade.
Gristle says,
Murph,
if I might, just a thought.
go ahead.
That seems a little early to me. If you want to meet here and have, discuss maybe further plans and firm things up a little bit more over dinner
You
or
know what?
something, great.
You know what? Murph is potentially getting us more information about like what the keys can do and whatnot. So that might not be a terrible idea.
Right.
Nah.
Well, my point was this. The colonnade, especially the night before this sort of thing, right after dinner, people go for walks periodically. Now, granted, not as many of them are doing that sort of shit now with the sickness.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. There might be some, old couple getting their steps in or something after dinner before they go to bed and have the pudding. But, I don't know that you want to go there that early where there might still be people who see you. I would suggest, maybe sometime after midnight. It can be right after midnight, but at that point, you can pretty much be sure the colonnade, for the most part, is going to be clear. Common everyday folk aren't going to be going for strolls that time of night.
It sounds
Not even
good.
the romantic types are usually going to be around there then.
All right,
Yeah,
so
we should-
we plan to
we
get
could meet
together
up.
here
Mhm.
a late
We could
dinner.
have dinner and pudding. Pudding sounds good.
Don't do robberies on a full stomach. It's like swimming. I hear.
Rick just goes, don't underestimate the power of that needed energy to utilize doing a job.
You
Yes.
carbo load before you do a job?
Well,
Do
that's
you have, like,
where the ale
A
comes
large
in.
pasta dinner?
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Oh, yeah. And Gristle goes, I think he's hit on something there, my brother. I do too, my brother.
Like before a fucking football game in high school? The night before you have a big pasta dinner? Nothing puts energy in a person like shit ton of carbohydrates.
Hey, Bumblebee, do you make heist lasagna?
Well, don't say it so loud.
Oh. Bumblebee, do you make heist lasagna?
I think heist
Just
was
say
the
it
word
softer.
we're trying to avoid.
Oh. Sorry. I kid.
You want to meet at midnight here or meet at midnight down there?
Well,
Because it's what?
if you feel that we've got things planned,
Yeah.
and if we're going to use that building, we could meet outside that building. You tell us when, we'll be there. If you want to discuss the details, still, we could meet you here. It's up to you. You're hiring us. We're at your disposal.
What do you think, guys?
Well, you know what? If Murph Murph, I would say Murph, meet us here a little bit earlier. You know, your normal time when you show up here.
I can be here early. It's not a problem. I'll bring the stuff. I
yeah.
may be a tad late depending on when they have to be at their job.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So, but you'll definitely be here before like 11, 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we'll wait here for you, Murph. That way you can pass along the stuff. And then you will be a part of our alibi that you saw us here all night long.
Right? Yeah, we were playing non-illegal gambling and drinking.
Just a friendly game of cards amongst friends.
Arm wrestling, that's it.
Anyway, yeah, just as long as we agree on whatever it is. And then we'll go out the back and meet our 3 friendly companions at the building next to the target that we can use for entrance. And any additional information you might pass along, we can pass along to them. And then if that alters the plan, we'll roll.
Murph says, just to be clear, I'm asking about the doors, especially those bottom doors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm asking about the keys. Is that correct?
Correct. To see what they're capable of. If he can get a number on the guards, like how many there might be.
Okay.
Or if they're when they patrol, do they patrol singly, in pairs, that kind of thing?
Oh, I told you that before. They said that it was usually in pairs.
Usually in pairs. Okay, maybe I missed that. Okay.
Yeah. No, I remember that. At least, well, I may have forgot to tell you, although that doesn't sound like me. But
we might have just. There's been a lot of information to be.
There certainly has. I totally understand.
So I think that's it. Anyone else have any other questions to ask?
So we will meet the Brothers Green at the sneaky house at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got it. And just to be clear, Murph, we come to you for our cut when this is all over, correct? Murph goes, like always. Good, you're a good man, Murph. If nothing else, I bid you ladies and gents good day. Or good night, as the case would be. And the other ones just kind of go, and they get up and kind of flop out of there.
All right. Well, I guess depending upon, really, it's going to end up being if we have both Butt Trumpet and Eldred available for us tomorrow night. We might have to make some last-minute changes there. And hell, we might get lucky and just 4th floor, and it's literally just sitting there.
Okay, so anything else?
I'm good.
Okay.
Good here.
Let's eat and drink tonight.
Yeah, big pasta dinner apparently is the way to go.
Sounds good.
Okay, while the friends indulge in rollatini, we will end it for this evening. Thank you, everybody, for coming along. We're sorry for any of the technical difficulties, especially big apologies to Butt Trumpet, who couldn't get on the call this evening. But it looks like next week we're having a heist, so tune in next week. Same Grognard time, same Grognard channel. And in this day and age, I won't go through all the spiel, but I will just say this. Be kind.